I teach, magta-take ng board exam. Ayan. So, I started 2018. I took my board exam 2018 also April, right after taking the board exam. This is my first job and until at the present. So, I'm from Davao City. Bisaya kung dako, nabi makasabot og Bisaya diri. Ayan. So, I am from Davao City. I am from University of Southeastern Philippines, a state university here in Davao. Currently, I'm in Davao, and but maybe during the start na ng semester namin, we'll be now starting our face-to-face in other branches. So, ayan. Kaya maganda din yung online kasi nare-reach out namin yung mga schools like you guys, different schools also to teach kasi natuturo din kami sa ibang schools under correlation nila. Okay, so let's start guys for our algebra topic. So in algebra, one thing na in mathematics, one thing that that we are dealing most of the time are numbers. So let's go back to number. When you say number class, a number it is simply symbols that describes magnitude or position. Okay? Magnitude or position. If a number describes a position, that's what we call the ordinal numbers. What are these ordinal numbers? These are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so forth. So mainly, it tells us the order or the position of a certain object. When you say magnitude, okay, a number that describes a magnitude, we call that one as cardinal numbers. And these are the numbers that we see most okay? Every day. So we have 1, 2, 3, 27, 28, and so on and so forth. So those are the different types of numbers. And there's a lot of numbers. We have fractions, we have whole numbers, we have decimal numbers, and we can just categorize all of these numbers in our number system. Now, very basic, babalikan lang talaga natin to recall all of the things. Why? This is important because there are questions that deals with terms under number system. If you don't know those terms, then more or less, pwede tayo masayangan ng isang punto. Ma'am, bakit importante yan? Remember class, in a board exam, yung isang punto, pwede kang ipapasa, pwede ka rin ibabagsak ng isang punto. So, that is why every point is very essential and whatever it takes, we're going to prepare ourselves for that board exam. Okay, so can you give me what are the two categories na nasa taas, okay? The topmost categories under number system? Ano po yung dalawa? So we have a lot of numbers and mainly these numbers can be categorized as two. Okay, ano yung dalawa po na nasa taas ng number system? Anyone? Sino po nakakaalala? Huwag po mahiya. Pwede po tayo dito sa chat box para po tayo ay makasagot. Ano po yung sagot natin dito, guys? Okay, thank you very much. We have the real and imaginary numbers. Thank you. Sino po to? Thank you, Sir Brian. Ayan. Brian, Sir Brian. From what college po tayo? From what department? Ayan, electrical, 4th year. Thank you so much, Sir Brian. So, we have real numbers and imaginary numbers. Now, and under real numbers, we have two. Dalawa to. So, we have different symbols also that we're using for representing these numbers. So, in real numbers, we use R for real numbers. And then, dito naman sa imaginary numbers, mainly, we uses I for that. Ayan. Now, under real numbers, meron tayong dalawa dito. Yun na yung rational and irrational numbers. Ano ba pinagkaiba ng rational and irrational numbers? Let's start with irrational. Can you give me an example of an irrational number? Ano yung mga examples natin sa irrational number, guys? Anyone? Can you give me an example of irrational number? Hello guys, irrational po, irrational. Nasa ano po, ginagamit po natin yan parate in mathematics. Hindi parate, but specifically.
Pi, ma'am.
Okay, yes, very good. Thank you so much. Yes, we have pi. Ano pa? Euler's value. Yes, square root of 2. Good. Then pwede natin sabihin din square root of 3. So these are example of irrational numbers. Therefore, as you can see, all these numbers are represented in decimals. So it means that irrational numbers in decimals are what? Are random, random, or hindi na natin sabihin yung random, pwede mo na sabihin na decimals are infinite. Ibig sabihin, it could last till infinity. Very parang daming decimal places, infinite, and of course, non-repeating. When you say non-repeating, wala pong patterns. Ibig sabihin po, random po yung mga digits natin. Okay? Non-repeating digits. So these are example of irrational numbers. Now, how about in irrational numbers? Ano po yung mga examples natin sa rational numbers? Ano po yung nasa baba nito? Yung rational numbers po natin.
Integers.
Ano po yun, sir? Pwede pong pakiulit?
Integers.
Okay, integers. Yes, very good. Or can be also in fraction. Tama? So, pag sinabi natin integers, pwedeng 2, pwedeng -2, or let us say meron po tayong 1/2. So, pag 1/2, that is just equal to 0.5. So, ibig sabihin, pwede siyang whole numbers, pwede siyang fraction, or in decimals, okay? In decimals, meron tayong finite places. Okay? In decimals, finite places, ibig sabihin po, minimum meron lang siyang specific number of decimal places. Now, other than that is, ano pa? Ma'am, pag sinabi mong finite, specific lang. Pero paano po yung 1/3, ma'am? Kasi pagkakaalala ko, ma'am, 1/3 is 0.33333. Meron akong bar na ilalagay sa taas, tapos dot, dot, dot. Ibig sabihin ko, ano po yung nasa sa baba ng bar, uulitin po yan until infinity. Thus, it's simply, hindi siya nag-satisfy dun sa finite places. So how come that 1/3 is rational? Because another criteria of rational that is, okay, in decimal places can be infinite, but repeating digits. And this is much important, class. So, because when you say infinite, may lalan natin, irrational to. But there are also decimals na infinite na magiging rational number. It's because of the digits it consists. So, yung digits na nasa decimal places ay paulit-ulit lang. So, for example, meron tayong 0.123, 123, 123, until infinity. May bar ako sa taas ng 1, 2, and 3. So, ibig sabihin, these 3 digits are all, okay, simply, yan lang po yung i-repeat natin or cycle natin on decimal places. So, ibig sabihin po, rational numbers could be, it could be consist of repeating digits, not digits. So, it could be a set of digits. Ayan. So, yung symbol po natin sa rational, we are using Q for that. And then, for irrational po is just not Q. So, pwedeng, C dito sa taas. Pwede din yung apostrophe kung naalala niyo. At pwede din po yung bar. Ayan, sa taas po ng Q. So these are the symbols for rational and irrational numbers. Now, before I proceed, did you understand the difference between these two numbers, guys? Nasundan po ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawang numbers natin? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes
Class,
po.
I'm very sorry but nagtatanong talaga ako. It's because I want to confirm if my students understand the discussion, ha? Okay, now, under rational, sakto po yung sinabi natin kanina, we have the integers and we have the fractions. Now, integers, we use Z for that, and fractions are just fractions itself. Now, the integers is also known as the set of whole numbers. Okay? It is also known as the set of whole numbers. So a fraction with a denominator of 1 is considered as a whole number. And we have 3 sets under integers. We have the negative, the 0, and the positive. So sa negative numbers, these are negative whole numbers. It is denoted with z raised to negative. So kung meron po kayo makikitang sa symbols ng ng mga symbols dito, tapos may sign convention sa taas, it simply tells us saan pong banda ng number line. So pag sinabi po nating R, raised to positive, ibig sabihin we are dealing with positive real numbers. Pag sinabi po natin Q raised to negative, we are dealing with negative rational numbers. Okay? Now, we have 0 as 0 itself. And then for positive naman, we have Z raised to positive or letter N. Because positive numbers is also known as counting numbers. Okay? This is also known as counting numbers or also known as natural numbers. So remember that pag sinabi po nating whole numbers, it only consists of when sinabi whole numbers, it consists of the negative, the 0, and the positive. But when you say natural numbers, we are dealing only the positive. 0 and negative is not part, especially 0. Take note of that. In natural numbers, 0 is not part of that set. Okay? So this is your number system. I hope you get that one. So I also encourage everyone, if gusto nyo mag-screenshot, pwede po tayo mag-screenshot of every slide na i-discuss natin. Okay? Paki-screenshot po if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and done. Okay po? Sige. Now, the positive numbers can be also considered as composite numbers. What are these composite numbers? These are positive integers that have more than 2 positive whole number factors. We all know what our factors are. When you say factors, these are numbers that when you're going to divide this one, okay, to a certain number na factor niya, okay, or a certain number divided by its factor, it is always results to a remainder equal to 0. So it means that the number is just divisible of each of its factor. Now, one of the basic factors na ginagamit natin in a composite numbers are the prime numbers. Again, when you say composite numbers, these are positive integers that could be, okay, expressed as product of factors, okay, or set of factors. Or pwede din natin sabihin as a product of prime numbers. So when you say prime numbers, an integer greater than 1 that is divisible only by 1 and itself. Can you give me what is the least value? Or ano yung pinakamaliit na prime number? Anyone? Ano yung pinakamaliit na prime number, guys? Smallest value na prime number.
2.
Okay, the answer is 2. And this is a special prime number because this is the only prime number that is even number. Okay, the only prime number that is even number. And the rest of the even numbers are not prime because everything are divisible by 2 already. So for example, I have 70 in 112 and these are composite numbers and I want to express this one as product of prime numbers. So ang gagawin lang natin is yung parang pyramidal. So if I have 70, this is 7 times 10. And then yung 10 natin, that is 5 times 2. How about 112? We can express this one as 56 times 2. And then 56 could be 28 times 2. 28 is 14 times 2. And then we have 14 as 7 times 2. So mainly, we can express 70 equal to 7 times 5 times 2. And then, yung 112 natin can be expressed as 7 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 2 raised to 4. Now, this is an example of composite numbers. And why are these factors important, especially the product of prime numbers? Because using these factors, we can identify the greatest common factor. How can we identify the greatest common factor? Ang tatandaan lang natin, common factors with the least exponent. So again, for you to get GCF, you need to get the common factors with the least exponent. So GCF, so we have, what is the GCF of 70 and 112? So ano yung mga common factors nila? We have 7 and we have 2 raised to 4. So with the least exponent, since remember, each factor will just be considered as 1. Okay? So 7, ito raised to 1, then considered as 1 lang. So 7 raised to 1. Times, we have 2. So lagay na natin yung 2 dito. Pero ano yung exponent? Sabi niya, least daw. So you have 2 raised to 1 and then 2 raised to 4. So you simply consider 2 raised to 1. So therefore, the GCF of these two numbers is 14. Okay? And another thing na pwede natin makuha using those factors is the least common multiple or the LCM. How? You get the common factors with the greatest exponent and the others. Or when you see the others, the other factors. So LCM po natin, focus on the common factors, 7 and 2. Pero kukunin natin yung highest. Si 7, ang highest niya is just 1. How about 2? Ang highest nila is 4. And the others, ano yung others natin? 5. So, multiply din natin si 5. Ano pong sagot natin dito, guys? 7 times 2 raised to 4 times 5. Can you give me the answer for the LCM of these two numbers? Ano po? Class, if you wish to unmute yourself and speak, maya na po kayo magsalita, i-unmute nyo muna ng maayos and then you talk. Kasi there are times na pag naka-unmute and then magsasalita kayo, tapos i-unmute nyo kaagad, hindi po yung natatransmit ng maayos. So ano lang, give time for sa Zoom na maano niya yung audio mo. 560 po ba? 560, am I right, guys?
Yes,
Confirm po
ma'am.
natin. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you so much. So these are one of the things that na pwede natin magamitan class ng mga factors na yan by getting the GCF and the LCM. Okay? To appreciate everything that we've discussed, let's have some set of examples. Paki-screenshot po nito if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have our first problem. Identify the number of the significant figures for each. I'm very sorry for that. For a while, bakit naka-significant figures yan? Sandali lang po ha, hindi po dapat yan significant figures. Oops. For a while guys, edit lang natin yung text kasi mali siya. Ayan. So, simplify the following. As you can see, each item that we have here is in terms of imaginary I. Sige po, I think sanay po tayo nito lahat. Pakikuha po ng mga calculators natin at gagamitin po natin yung mode complex ng calculator. So, press mode. Ayan. And then, complex. So, I think if you're asking ano yung gagamitin natin sa board exam na calculators, ang gagamitin po natin is 570 ES, but for civil engineering, hindi po ata pwede yun sa inyo, unfortunately. So, merong mga calculators na hindi pwede sa some of engineering na mga courses, specifically sa CE. So, iba yung rules CE, iba din yung rules merong consideration to other professions. But for civil, meron talagang specific na bawal yung 570. So sa iba, pwede pang gamitin si 570. Ayan. So yan yung pinakamataas na model ng calculator na pwedeng gamitin under Casio na brand. So, for the others, hindi ko alam, di ako kabisado. Yung Casio lang yung kabisado ko. But I think all of the calculators naman is merong mode complex. So, try po natin isolve sa letter A. Pakilagay po sa calculator nyo. Ano po yung value natin dito? You have A, which is 1 plus I raised to 5. Ano po yung value nito? Ano pong lumalabas sa calculator nyo pag i-input po natin to? I think everyone knows how to use their calculators, right? Ano pong value nito sa calculator nyo? Okay, as you can see here, kung meron po tayong mode complex, nakikita niyo po ba? Okay, you have negative 4 minus 4i. Thank you very much. So, kung naka-mode complex po tayo, tapos nalagay natin si 1 plus 5i, so 1 plus I raised to 5, ang makukuha po natin dyan ay math error. Kung 570 po tayo, math error pa rin yan. How much more kung lower model? So, the reason is, parang ganito lang. Kung that is equal to 1, sorry, hindi pala 1. Wala lang siyang 1. If ganyan lang siya, meron kang value. Pag gagawin po natin tong squared, you have the value also, the answer. If that is cube, you have also the final answer. If I have 4 as an exponent, math error po yan. Pag gagawin ko po yan 5, math error din po yan. Pag gagawin ko yan 28, then lalong mas math error yan. So, sa calculator na pwede po sa board exam, so, ang pwede lang po na exponent ng I natin is hanggang cube. Greater than 3, it would lead to math error na sa calculator. So, for us to solve this one, so ang gagawin nyo is hatiin nyo lang or paglaruan nyo yung exponents. So, 1 plus I raised to 3 and then multiply nyo po sa 1 plus I squared. Now, did I change the expression class or still the same? Raised to 5 pa rin yan. Tama po ba? Raised to 5 pa rin? So, pag i-add ko tong dalawa, that would lead us me to exponent 5, given na same base lang sila. So, ang sagot po natin, so instead na gagawin po natin tong 5, then hatiin mo. Hanggat sa hatiin mo na yung mga exponents, in terms of the exponents, na pwede lang sa calculator. So, the answer is yes. So, yun na yung sinabi ng ating kasama dito from, from civil, BJ, tama po ba pagka ko? Danog, tama po ba yung pagkabigkas ng pangalan mo? Tama po ba yung pagkabigkas ng pangalan mo? BJ, okay, thank you so much. So that is for our answer in letter A. How about letter B, class? Ayan, can you repeat the process? What is I raised to 5? Ano pong value ng I raised to 5 natin?
Ay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. That is the value of I. How about C, which is I raised to 97? Ayan. I raised to 97. Parang ang hirap naman yan, ma'am. Gawin mong
Ay,
cube lahat.
ulit, ma'am.
Ano po yun, ma'am?
Ay
Ano?
po ulit.
Okay, I daw ulit. So, now, I think one way to solve this one is tama po ba, dinivide niyo po lahat na exponents into to 4? You divide the exponents by 4. Am I right? Okay. So, pwede natin i-divide by 4 and you get the remainder. So, but aside from that, I'm going to introduce to you another way to solve this problem, which is much more less sa error na pwede nating makuha. Kasi, pag dinivide kasi ng 4 yung 97, ang kukunin mo ay remainder. And there are a lot of students don't know how to get the remainder, especially if nag-rely sila sa calculator. So, you can just not get the exponent by just looking the answer in your calculator. So, ang gagawin lang po natin dito is, another way to solve. Hindi ko sinabi na mali yung process na yun. Another way to solve this one is by just simply observing the pattern. We all know that I raised to 1, that is just equal to square root of negative 1. Kung meron kang I squared, that is equal to negative 1. Kung meron kang I cube, you can express this one as I squared times I. If negative 1 si I squared times I, this is negative I. If I have I raised to 4, that is I squared raised to I squared, that is just negative 1 times negative 1 or just 1. So, kung meron akong I raised to 5, automatic po that is I. So, as you can see, meron lang tayong pattern dito na hanggang dito lang po. Okay? So, yung pattern natin ay hanggang dyan lang. So, it means that yung ating I raised to 97, yung 97 nandito lang sa 4. All we have to do is to pick saan po sa I raised to 97. So, ang gagawin po nyo, so aside dun sa pagkuha ng remainder after dividing by 4, ganito yung isa sa paraan. All you have to do is to make this exponent as an even number. So, paglaruan natin yung exponent. Para maging even number yan, bawasan natin ng isa. So, we have I raised to 96. And then, i-multiply mo sa I. So, you have still 97 there kasi 96 plus 1 is equal to 97. Now, after making these exponent as an even number, then that's the time you're going to divide that 1 by 4. Is 96 divisible by 4? Yes or no? Is 96 divisible by 4? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. Since that is divisible by 4, then automatic po, the answer is 1. Because I raised to 4 is 1. Since 96 divisible by 4, then dito po yan siya tatama sa I raised to 4. So this is 1 multiplied by I, then ibig sabihin ang sagot natin dito is still I pa rin. So yun na yung sabi ni ma'am kanina na I pa rin yung sagot. Okay, how about letter D? Letter D. So you have I raised to 3217. minus I raised to 427 and then plus I raised to 18. So again, ang unang gagawin nyo is to express the exponent in terms of even numbers. So I raised to 3216, 7 yan, times I. So still 3217 pa rin po yung kalabasan niya. And then next, minus I raised to 426 raised to I. So that still lead us to 427 plus I raised to 12. 12 is already an even number. Then wag mo na palitan niyan. Is 3216, guys, divisible by 4? Yes or no? Is 3216 divisible by 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, since that is divisible by 4, then ibig sabihin this is just 1 times I. How about 426? Is it divisible by 4?
No, ma'am.
Okay, since 426 is not divisible by 4, but remember, this is an even number. All even number is divisible by 2. So kung hindi man siya divisible by 4, then automatic divisible by 2 yan, which is, thus, this is just negative 1. So kahit hindi man siya divisible by 4, but since it is even number, then automatic negative 1 yan siya, times I, and then 12 is divisible by 4, so plus 1. So this is one way for you to solve it, guys, where, ayan, 18 po ba? 18 pala, I'm very sorry for that. 18, sorry. Okay, 18 is not divisible by 4. Hindi siya divisible by 4, but it is always divisible by 2 because it is an even number. So add natin yung negative 1 dyan. So I raised to 18 is just negative 1. So by simplifying, you have I plus I minus 1, or the final answer is just equal to negative 1 plus 2i. Ayan. So these are the following answers for this problem. So tatandaan nyo lang po sa pag-solve po ng ganitong problem, pwede kayong dalawang paraan. Yung unang ginawa nyo, nag-divide kayo ng 4, or just by simply ulitin nyo lang yung process na to by making sure that all the exponents are even. Check if it is divisible by 4. If yes, then that is equal to 1. If it is not, then that is given na divisible by 2 kasi even siya. So the answer is negative 1. Okay? So if you wish to screenshot, pwede po, screenshot po natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have our next problem. Let's have this one. Identify the number of significant figures for each. Ano daw yung significant number of significant figures for each value? So let's start with letter A. So balikan natin yung mga rules in significant numbers. So in letter A, you have 1.523. Ayan. So ilang significant numbers po meron tayo or significant figures? When you say significant figures, balikan natin yung mga rules isa-isa. The first rule of significant figure is that all non-zero digits are significant. Again, all non-zero digits are significant. Since these are non-zero digit, then automatic meron kang 4 na significant figures. Ayan. Next, how about letter B? Sige nga po, kayo po yung magsagot. Ilan po significant figures meron tayo dito sa 6.3001? Okay. Yes, meron tayong 5. Thank you very much for answering po sa chat box natin. So this has 5 significant figures. Ma'am, bakit po? Because zeros in between non-zero digit are all significant. Yung zeros na pinagitnaan po ng hindi po non-zero are all significant class. So, meron kang 5 significant digits. Now, how about letter C, guys? How many significant do we have? 6.200. Ilan po yan? Ayan. Okay. So, the answer for this is 4 significant figures. Ma'am, bakit 4? Because all zeros after decimal point are significant. All zeros after decimal point are all significant. So kahit 10 zero pa yan nandyan, class, lahat po ay significant. Okay? Take note, all zeros after decimal point are all significant. Next, letter D, class. How about this one? 0.314. How many significant digit do we have here? Okay, very good. We have only 3 significant figures. The reason na tatlo lang siya because all these zeros before, okay? Take note, before po ng non-zero digit, before the non-zero digit is considered as not significant. So ito, not significant yan. So kahit meron pang zero yan, hindi rin yan significant. Basta before non-zero digit. Okay? Let's have letter E, class. So letter E, meron tayong 200 dito. Ilang significant figures meron po? Letter E, we have 200. How many significant figures do we have? Okay. The answer for this is 1 significant figures. Ma'am, niloloko mo ba kami? Seryoso ka? Okay, bakit po 1, ma'am? Bakit 1? Because all this zero without the presence of decimal point is not considered significant. So parang sentence lang, class. Pag walang period, ibig sabihin hindi pa tapos yan. So yung 200 na yan could be not just 200, it could be even more or even less. So that's why zeros without the decimal place. Unlike itong letter C, si letter C kasi zeros to na si letter C, zero siya after decimal point. So ito ay different din kasi wala siyang decimal point. So all the zeros without decimal point at the left side are not all significant. So ibig sabihin, pagdating sa letter F, kung meron akong 300 tapos may decimal point lang ako dyan, walang kadugtong. Ilang significant figures na meron tayo dito? Okay, ilang significant figures na to, guys? Yes, ito na yung 3 significant figures. So kasi may decimal na siya. So kahit lagyan mo pa yan ng 10 zero, then those zeros are all significant. So kung meron kang 1 million without any decimal point, then you just only have 1 significant. The 6 zeros are not all significant. Okay? Basta walang decimal point. And then lastly, how about letter G? How many significant do we have in letter G? That is 1.40 times 10 raised to power of 3. Ilang significant po to? Remember, may 0 ka after decimal point. May 0 po tayo after decimal point. Ano po yun? Ilan po yung significant figures dito? Just recall letter C po. Okay, we have 3 significant figures here considering that your 0 is also significant. Now, take note, this is scientific notation. Then ito po yung ating times 10 raised to the power of 3 is not considered as significant. Di natin yan i-consider ka sa bilang natin. So, yung tatlo lang, okay? Yung dito lang yung bibilangin mo, yung before sa multiplication na operation. Okay? Did you understand that one? Kuha po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how about the others? Nasundan naman po.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Sige po, if you wish po na mag-screenshot, pwede po. Paki-screenshot po, please. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have another problem, guys. Okay, now, we have here, this is very important in most of us, especially if we're dealing with research. And lumalabas din to sa board exam. So, one of our students, sabi niya, sa EE yun, sa electrical, sabi niya na, ma'am, marami pong ganito lumabas sa boards. So, express the answer using the proper significant figures. So, you have here operations class. Meron ka mga operations dito and all you have to do is to present the final answer into proper number of significant figures. So, if I have 2.5 centimeters plus 0.50 centimeters plus 0.055, centimeters. You can get the answer right away. So, ang tamang sagot po natin dito ay 3.0555 centimeters. But the question is all about, representing or present your answer to proper number of significant figures. So, all you have to do is to follow the addition and subtraction rule of identifying the with significant figures. So, ano ba yung tatandaan if you're going to add and subtract considering the proper number of significant figures? Ang gagawin nyo is you need to refer to the number with least. Okay, with least number of decimal places. Okay? So, you're going to consider the least number of decimal places. So, ano ba yung mga ano natin dyan na mayroong least decimal number of places? Si 2.5. Tama? So, it has only one decimal place. So, what do you think the answer for this problem, class? So, instead of representing it to 3.0555 centimeters, ano po yung magiging sagot natin kung kailangan isang decimal place lang? Yes, the answer is 3.1 centimeters. That is your final answer. So you have only one decimal place for this final answer, considering the rule class in identifying the proper number of significant figures. And how about letter B? Ayan. So sa letter B naman ay pag-multiply natin yung mga numbers. So you have 0.020 centimeters multiplied to 50 centimeters and then multiplied to 11.1 centimeters. So for this one po, ang magiging sagot supposedly nito ay equal to 11.1 centimeters. So which is originally meron siyang tatlong significant figures. But what is the rule? So in multiplication and division, okay, in multiplication and division, ang rule po natin dito is to refer to the number with least number of significant figures. So, titingnan mo, ano yung number na merong sobrang liit lang na significant figures. Remember, least po ha, least. So, in this problem, ito, ilang significant figures itong si 0.20, guys? Ilan po yan? Itong first. Ilang significant figures po dito? Tatlo? Sure? Kailangan po, okay, dalawa lang po to kasi we just need to consider these two. Ito hindi to significant kasi before po siya ng non-zero digit. How about sa 50? Ilan po to, guys? Okay, that is just one significant figure. So, about 11.1. How many significant figures? We have 3 significant figures. So, the answer is 11.1. This is 3. But sabi dito, least number daw. So, focus ka lang sa isang significant figures. So, ano dapat yung magiging final answer natin to make this 11.1 as one significant figure? Anyone? Kailangan isa lang ha? Isa lang guys. Ano ba yung pinakamalapit na number sa 11.1 na pag bibilangin mo, meron lang siyang isang significant figures? Very good. Yes. Meron ka lang 10. Okay, this is cube class. 10 centimeter cube. Ma'am, bakit 10? Kasi pang 10, isa lang yung significant figure niya, which is 1. Okay? So, kung gagawin mo yung 11, meron kang dalawa. Kung gagawin mo yung 11.0, meron kang tatlo. So, that is just 10 itself para meron ka lang isa. Naintindihan po ba yung problem na to, guys? Gets po ba, guys? Everyone, nasundan naman po. Okay, how about the others? Nasundan naman po. Paki-screenshot po kung sa gusto nyo. Thank you so much for answering. Okay lang po ba yung pacing ng aking pagsasalita or sobrang bilis ko po? Sobrang bilis po ba ng lecture natin? Or okay lang? Sakto lang? Okay. Sige po. Done? Sige. Thank you so much for answering, guys. Let's have another problem. Let's have this. Ayan. So, two neon lights are turned on at the same time. One blinks every 4 seconds and the other blinks every 6 seconds. In 60 seconds, how many times will they blink at the same time? Okay. For this problem, reading the problem, what do you think is this type of problem? Anong hinahanap natin para ma-solve po natin to? Anyone? Ano sa tingin niyo yung hinahanap natin to solve this one, guys? Okay. So, tatandaan nyo lang po, ang scenario is ganito. Meron kang dalawang neon lights are turned on at the same time. Okay? Turned on at the same time. Ibig sabihin, at the same time, they blink. Okay? So, you have the first light. So, ang first light natin blinks every 4 seconds. And then, you have the second light. Ang second light natin blinks every 6 seconds. Ayan. So remember, ang goal natin is in 60 seconds, how many times they will blink at the same time. So first, ang kukunin natin muna is what is the number of second that they blink at the same time? Okay, so we need to get the amount of time, class, that they blink at the same time. Okay, so get the so time that both blink at the same time. So, kunin muna natin yun. So, kailan ba na silang dalawa ay magbiblink at the same time? And to answer this one, all you have to do is to get the LCM. So, yan lang. Kunin mo lang yung LCM. Ano ba yung LCM ng dalawang numbers? So, solve again. Again po, solve for LCM. So, you have two numbers there, 4 and 6. So, kunin muna natin yung mga factors nila, class. So, alam natin, pag 4, this is equal to 2 squared. Pag sinabi mo namang 6, that is 3 times 2. Ano yung rules sa LCM? You get the common factors and the others. Common factors with the highest exponent. So, we have 2 here as the common factor. So, 2 with the highest exponent daw, which is 3. And the others, that is 3. So, multiplied, 2 raised to 2. And then, we have the others, which is 3. So, therefore, anong LCM natin? That is just 4 times 3, which is equal to 12. Okay, every 12 seconds. So, it means here that every 12 seconds, they blink at the same time. But the question is, ilang beses daw sila magbi-blink in 60 seconds? Okay, good. I-divide lang natin. So, in 60 seconds divided by 12 seconds, the answer is 5 times. 5 times they blink at the same time in every 60-second time. Okay? So, 5 times yung final answer natin, guys. Very easy, right? Super easy. Sige po, paka-screenshot nito, guys, please. If you want to. Nasundan po ba yung problem na to, everyone? Nasundan naman po? Okay lang kayo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Sige
Oo,
po,
ma'am.
paka-screenshot po nito, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have another problem. Let's have this. So we have the loss of exponents. So now, those are the things na yung mga previous natin, it's all about numbers now. So ngayon, let's deal with expressions and equations. Let's start with the loss of exponents. So I have a question to you guys. When you see an exponent is a number that gives the power to which a base is raised. So if I have this expression, x is equal to x raised to a, which is equal to y. So Saan po dito yung ating base? Ano nga yung base natin? Tama po ba? Si x, di ba? X is served as our base. Okay. Now, my question to you is saan po dito sa tatlong variable or dalawang variable remaining ang ating tinatawag na exponent? Okay, good. Yes, so A class is our exponent. Next question. Saan po dito yung tinatawag natin na power? Power po. Ano po yung power natin? Saan dyan yung power natin, guys? Saan dyan yung power natin? Anyone? Power po, power. You have 3 variables na pipiliin. Saan po dyan yung power natin? Ano po yung sagot natin? Huwag po kayo mahiya, guys. Feel free to answer. And feel free to answer, please. Ako lang po nakakabasa sa mga comments nyo. Kailan kayo dito? 168. Okay, ma'am, exponent po. Okay. The power class is simply y. This is the power. Remember that exponent is different from power. Power is not similar to exponent. Ma'am, how come? For example, pag sasabihin sa problem, let us say, you have 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. These are all considered as powers of 10. Again, these numbers are considered as powers of 10. Why? You can get 10 by 10 raised to 1. You can get 100 as 10 squared. 1,000 as 10 cubed. Okay? 10 cubed. And then, you can get 10,000 as 10 raised to 4. So, all of these 4 numbers are called as powers of 10. When you say power, kaya nga, what is an exponent? It gives the power. A number that gives the power when a base is raised. If a base is raised to an exponent, it leads us to the power class. Naintindihan po ba yung pinagkaiba ng power and exponent, everyone? Naintindihan po? Okay, very good. Thank you so much. How about the others? Nasundan po ba sa chat box natin? Naintindihan po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So now, ang gagawin po natin ay babalik po tayo sa mga laws of exponents. So let's recall the different laws of exponents na ginagamit natin in simplifying different equations. So if I have a raised to m multiplied to a raised to n, as you can see, meron tayong same base. This leads us to a raised to m plus n. So add lang natin exponents basta same ang base. Kung meron naman tayong a raised to m and then divided by a raised to n, same base, but naka-division, that is a raised to m minus n. Diba? Very familiar. Next, if meron akong a raised to m, quantity raised to n, that is just equal to a raised to m times n. So all you have to do is to multiply or get the product of these two exponents. Thus, kung meron tayong a raised to b raised to n, quantity raised to m, that would lead us to a raised to m, distribute po lang natin to, and then multiply to b raised to mn. And then if I have a divided by b raised to n, quantity raised to m, distribute pa rin po natin both in numerator and denominator. That would be a raised to m divided by b raised to mn. Now, when it comes to other laws naman, class, meron tayong negative. So if I have negative m as exponent, that leads us to the reciprocal of the base with the exponent, a raised to m. And then lastly, kung meron po tayong a raised to 0 or anything that is based raised to 0, this will lead us equal to 1 class. So these are the following laws of exponents and properties that you might encounter, that you might going to use in solving different problems. Okay, paki-screenshot po if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have our another problem. Okay, another thing that we need to consider before proceeding to the next set of problems, we have the properties of logarithm. So logarithm has a relationship to exponents, okay? has a relationship to exponents class. So if ito yung exponent natin, x raised to a equal to y, exponent gives the power. Pagdating sa logarithm, ano magiging itsura nito? That would be log of y base x is equal to a. So as you can see here, in exponent, it gives the power. But in logarithm, it simply gives the exponent. Okay, meron kang exponent which is in terms of the logarithm of the power given ka ng base x. Okay, so you have the exponent given ka ng base, naka-logarithm yung power natin. So the logarithm gives the power, exponent gives the power, the logarithm gives the exponent class. Naintindihan po ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa class? Gets po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let's have the different properties of logarithm. Actually, meron lang tong relationship sa exponents class. Kung meron kang logarithm of a times b, this would lead you to logarithm of a plus logarithm of b. Makes sense. Kasi kanina sa ating exponents, yung merong product, di ba? Yung kung i-multiply mo yung same base, tapos with corresponding exponents, ipag-a-add mo yung exponents. Pag i-divide mo naman sila, let's say A divided by B, this leads you to exponent na subtraction, di ba? Log of A minus log of B. And then, ano pa? Kung meron po akong log of A raised to X, and then gusto kong ibaba si X, remember that one special property of logarithm is X log of A class. Okay? And then, what if this time, ang ating x po ay nasa base? So, let's say, kukunin ko po to. Log of a, base x. Gusto kong kunin si x from the base. Ano kayang gagamitin ko dyan para matanggal yan si x? Anyone does have any idea to get how to get that variable x out from the base? Anyone pa? Meron po ba? Okay. So, one property of logarithm is tinatawag po natin pang base property. So, this could be log of a, then divided by log of x. So, ito po ay magiging log of a divided by log of x. Na kung saan, after nyo po i-apply yung base property, you can replace any base that you want as long as magkapareho po sila. So, pwede natin tong gawin. For example, gusto mo ng base 8. So, log of a base 8 divided by log of x base 8. So, basta magkapareho lang sila ng base. So, this logarithm, yung LOJ na to, okay? This LOJ is known as the common logarithm. Okay? This is also known as common logarithm. Ayan. So, if you're going to change, say, let us say, gumamit ka, you have log of a base x, and then gusto mong yun, lang, walang base. So, pwedeng walang base. Log of a divided by log of x. Remember na pag walang base po yan, automatic po, ang nandyan po sa baba ay naka-base din. Kaya nga sa calculator nyo, dalawa yung logarithm dyan eh. Yung logarithm na may base at logarithm na walang base. Pag walang base, automatic naka-base 10 po yan. Okay. Another way is pwede din natin gawin ganito. For example, let us say meron po akong log of a base x at gagawin ko pong log of a divided by log of x. And then this time, your base is the Euler's value e. Ayan, magiging e siya. So, ano magiging resulta nito, guys? Anong resulta? Basta meron kang common logarithm base e. Anyone? Anyone po? Ano po magiging value? Log of a base e and then log of x base e. Ano po yung equivalent natin yan? Ano po yung magiging value natin to, guys? Okay. Ito po ay magiging ln of A divided by ln of X. Again, ln of A divided by ln of X. So, this logarithm is known as the natural logarithm. So, pag sinabi nating ln, that is natural logarithm class. Sorry for that. Ayan po. So, tatandaan yun na pag meron kang log of anything, then naka-base E po kayo, automatic po, yan po ay magiging ln siya. Basta pag naka-base B po tayo. So, these are the different properties of logarithm and the different types of logarithm. Nasundan po ba yung properties ng logarithm, guys? Okay lang kayo dyan? Are you still there?
Yes po, ma'am.
How about
Yes,
the
ma'am.
others po? Thank you so much. Nasundan naman po.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Sige po, paka-screenshot if you want to. Please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have some examples. Okay. So if 3x minus y equal to 12, what is the value of 8 raised to x divided by 2 raised to y? So the technique here, class, is just make sure that the base of the base class of those exponents have the same value. So meron kang dalawang equation dito. Yung unang binigay sa inyo ay 3x minus y equal to 12. Next na binigay ay 8 raised to x divided by 2 raised to y. So is there any chance na itong dalawa ay pwedeng magkapareho ng base? Yes or no? Yes. Good. Di ba itong 2 class ay itong 8, pwede magiging 2 cube lang? Tama? 2 cube quantity raised to x divided by 2 raised to y. And then, multiply po natin, meron tayong 2 raised to 3x divided by 2 raised to y. And we all know na pag ganito, same base, pwede na natin isubtract. We have 2 raised to 3x minus y. Ano nga yung value ng 3x minus y, guys? So value of 3x minus y, that is 12. Yes, then therefore, you have 2 raised to 12 lang, class. Ayan. So, yan na yung sagot natin sa question. Ano daw yung magiging equivalent ng expression na to? Okay. So, do you have any questions, any clarifications for this problem? Madali lang po, di ba? Ayan po. Questions, clarifications, nasundan naman po, guys. Okay lang kayo dyan? Okay. Sige po. Let's answer some questions. Pwede niyo pong i-screenshot kung gusto niyo. Let's have the next question. Solve for x in the following equations. So, ano din yung value ng x? 27 raised to x equal to 9 raised to y. And 81 raised to y times 3 raised to negative x equal to 243. Okay, unahin natin tong first equation na binigay. You have 27 raised to x equal to 9 raised to y, class. Is there a possibility na pwede po natin gawing same base yung both sides ng equation, guys? Yes. So that is in terms of 3. Tama. Kung meron akong 3 cube, automatic it is 27 quantity raised to x. And then yung 9 naman natin ay 3 squared quantity raised to y. And then multiply po natin, meron tayong 3 raised to 3x equal to 3 raised to 2y. So remember, class, this is equal sign. It means that the left side must be equal to the right side. So how can we get the value of x? So since meron ka ng same base dyan, okay, same base na, which is 3, class. It has the same base, which is 3. My question to you is that para maging equal itong dalawa, yes, para maging equal itong dalawang side, di ba dapat yung exponents nila equal din? Am I right? para maging equal itong both sides, kasi same na sila ng base. Tama po ba kailangan equal din yung kanilang exponent? Yes or no? Yes po ba guys? Or no? Kasi equal sign to eh. So ibig sabihin equal na to, tama po ba na dapat equal lang sila? Yes. So equal din yung exponents given na same base na to guys. So dapat yung exponents equal din. So equate both exponents. Okay. Equate both exponents. That would give us 3x equal to 2y. So you have now 3x minus 2y equal to 0. And that would lead us to your first equation. Yan na yung first equation natin. Now, let's get the second equation po natin. Ayan, based po sa problem class, meron tayong 81 raised to y. And then quantity raised to 3 raised to negative x is equal to 243. So let's start class by changing the base. In terms of 3, this would be 3 raised to 4, tama? And then quantity raised to y. We have 3 raised to negative x and then 3 raised to 5. Okay? Simplifying class, you have 3 raised to 4y multiplied to 3 raised to negative x. And then equal to 3 raised to 5. Now, dito naman sa left side, meron tayong 3 raised to 4y minus x equal to 3 raised to 5. So, ano yung magiging, natin, equate both exponents lang. Kasi same base na sila. Ayan. So, applying class will have, so meron tayong 4y minus x equal to 3. Okay? Or that is negative x plus 4y equal to 3. So, meron ka ng 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Let's use your calculator class. This is our first equation and our second equation. So, gagawin niyo po sorry, 5 pala. Thank you so much po. Dapat po 5 to. Ayan. Thank you. So, para po para ma-solve natin to, di na tayo magmano-mano guys. Gamitin na natin si calculator. Can you use your calculator in solving this one? Gamit po tayo ng mode 5. Pindutin niyo po mode 5.1. Ayan. Yung equation po na merong a and x. Ayan. Tapos b plus b and y, and then cn. Ayan po. So, ang gagawin nyo is just simply input po ng coefficients ni x, coefficient ni y, at saka yung constant. Kailangan po masunod nyo po yung nakaprogram sa calculator. Kasi nakalagay dito yung kaniyang constant ay nasa right side or nakahiwalay po sa mga variables. So, and then lagay niyo po dito sa calculator natin yung mga coefficients nila at saka yung constant na part. Okay, so sa 1, this is 3, -1, -2, 4, 0, and 5 class. Ano po yung value ng x natin, guys? Thank you. 1. And then, yung ating y, that is 3/2. Tama po ba? Pa-confirm naman po, x is equal to 1. And then, yung y is equal to 3/2. Does your classmate get the same answer with you guys? Same po ba tayo ng mga sagot? Thank you so much. How about the others po? Same naman po. Okay, thank you very much guys. Did you get on how to solve this problem po? Sundan naman po. Okay lang kayo dyan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Ayan. Sige. Maka-screenshot po if you want to. Let's have another problem. Let's have another problem. Let's have this. Simplify the following. Ayan. Ayan, madali lang yan, guys. Mahirap pa siya tingnan, pero sobrang dali lang talaga. Promise, madali lang yan. So, rewrite muna natin to. Okay, so you have here xy quantity raised to n, and then a minus b, quantity raised to -1. You have a minus b raised to 2n minus 1, and then divided by, okay, so divided by the quantity of xy. We have a minus b quantity squared, quantity raised to n minus 1. So, madali lang to kasi po, mayroon lang tayong mga magkakaparehong base. As you observe, same base, same base, same base, same base, same base. So, there's nothing to worry about kasi same base lang. All you have to do is to apply all the laws of exponents. So, you have xy, quantity raised to n, then multiply to a minus b. Ang a minus b natin, same base, -1 plus 2n minus 1. And then, divide po natin sa baba. This is, itong exponent na to, distribute po natin dito sa dalawa. You have your xy, quantity raised to n minus 1. And then, a minus b, quantity raised to 2 times n minus 1. Ayan. And then, simplify pa po natin. So, you have xy, quantity raised to n. And then, itong a minus b yan as an exponent of negative, 2n plus minus 2. And then, divided by, for this one, hatiin po natin to. Yan po ay magiging xy, quantity raised to n, multiplied to xy raised to -1. And then a minus b, quantity raised to, distribute 2n minus 2. And as you can see, meron na tayong cancel out dito, guys. So, cancel out natin to, ito, tsaka ito. So, therefore, ano yung magiging final answer natin? You have here 1 over xy raised to quantity -1. Or that is just 1 over xy. So therefore, ano po yung sagot natin? Just xy lang, class. This is our final answer. Ayan. So nasundan po ba yung problem na to, guys, in simplifying?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay. Ayan. How about the others po sa chat box natin? Nasundan naman po. It's good, that's good, that's good. Sige po, kaya screenshot if gusto niyo po, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have another problem, guys. For a while lang, guys. Sandali lang po, please. Okay, next problem po tayo. Solve for x, a raised to x, c raised to -2x, then b raised to 3x plus 1. Okay, tanggalin natin si x dun sa exponents class. Anong gagawin natin para matanggal siya? Any idea? Anong gagawin natin para matanggal to, class? A raised to x, c raised to -2x, and then equal siya sa b raised to 3x plus 1. Ano po yung gagawin natin para matanggal si x dyan? Anyone? Anong gagawin natin? Okay. Simply apply logarithm. Tama? Apply tayo logarithm, class, para mababa natin yung mga exponents na yan. So, ang gagawin nyo is this. So, you have the logarithm of the quantity a raised to x multiplied to c raised to -2x, and then equal to the logarithm on the other side. Of course, kailangan both sides. B raised to 3x plus 1. Now, we're going to simplify this by applying the properties of logarithm. You have product here. Pwede natin itong gawin as in addition form. Logarithm of a raised to x plus the logarithm of c raised to -2x. And then equal to the logarithm of b raised to 3x plus 1. And then we're going to get rid of all the variables na nasa exponents and then ibaba natin like a coefficient. So meron ng x logarithm of a plus, or that is just minus 2x log of c, and then equal to the quantity of 3x plus 1 log of b. And then you need to get the value of x. So you have x log of a minus 2x log of c, and then equal to 3x log of b, then plus log of b. And then, lipat po sa kabila yung isa, meron kang x log of a minus 2x log of c, and then minus 3x log of b, and plus log of b. I'm very sorry, that must be equal log of b. And then factoring x, that would lead you to x times, we have log of a minus 3 log of b minus 2 log of c, and then equal to log of b. And finally, you can get now the value of x, which is log of b divided by log of a minus 3 log of b minus 2 log of c class. And that is the value of your x. Before I proceed, nasundan po ba yung solution natin dito, guys? Nasundan po? How about the others? Nasundan po ba yung solution natin dito, everyone? Thank you so much. Ayan. Sige po, paka-screenshot, please. Okay. Done? Done na? Sige po. Let's have another problem, guys. Let's have this. The log of a, b base a is equal to x, then log of ab is equal to, log of ab base b is equal to blank. Okay. So meron ka dito ang class may binigay sa atin. We have the log of ab base a equal to x. Remember, this is the question being asked. Ano daw yung value nito? And as you can see, meron siyang base b. May meron siyang base b. Ang meron ka dito ay base a. So we need to have an expression class na naging base b yan. So ang gagawin natin, apply tayo ng base property. Okay? Apply tayo ng base property, guys. So sa base property natin, ito po ay magiging log of AB, ayan, divided by log of A equal to x. Siyempre, huwag mong baguhin yung sa kabila. Nag-apply lang tayo ng base property sa left side ng ating calculator, ay ng ating equation. And of course, hindi magbabago yan kasi same lang naman sila. So, gawin po natin tong B and then base B. Now, simplifying further class, this leads us to, hindi pa tayo tapos, expand natin yung taas. So, we have log of A base B plus, we have log of B base B divided by, we have log of A base B equal to x. And then simplifying further, you have log of A base B divided by log of A base B, then plus, we have log of B base B divided by log of A base B equal to x. Now, alam na natin itong nasa leftmost na equation. This is equal to 1. Now, I want you to check, class, ano po yung value ng log of 10 base 10? Sige nga po, pa-check po sa calculator natin. Ano po yung value niyan? Log of 10 base 10 po. Ano pong value ng log of 10 base 10?
1 po, ma'am.
Okay, 1. Sige, how about you check log of 999 base 99? 999 base 999 also. Ano pong lumalabas? Ano yung lumalabas, guys? 1 din. Tama? So, everything class, kung meron kang log of x base x, automatic that is 1. So, it means itong log of b base b, kahit anong pang value na yan, or kahit variable pa yan, expect kayo na 1 talaga lalabas yan. So, by simplifying, this expression now will be equal to 1 plus, you have 1 over log of a base b equal to x. So, we're not done yet kasi hinahanap is itong may base b. But we have a value here of log of a base b. May value tayo niyan, nandyan po sa taas. If you observe this one, the value of log of a base b is just equal to log of ab base b divided by x. So if we substitute that one to our equation, meron tayong 1 plus, we have 1 over log of ab, ayan, quantity base b divided by x, and then equal to x. So we have 1 plus x all over log of ab base b equal to x. Or thus, ang ating log of ab base b is equal to x divided by x minus 1. Okay, that's it for this problem. Do you have any questions, guys? Any clarifications? Baka meron po kayo at kayo nahihiyang magtanong. Meron po ba tayong mga tanong, guys? Ano po mga question natin? Questions, clarifications, meron po ba? Gets naman po.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. How about the others? Nasundan naman po tayo. Yung nasa chat box po. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait lang. SLU, Tuguegarao, no? Layo nun. SLU. Nabi, USLT pa. SLU, ano daw? Baguio pala yun. Sorry. USLT, Tuguegarao. Tingnan ko kung saan yung location ng school niyo. Ayan. Yan, yun, USLT. So, kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng USLT? University of St. Louis, Tuguegarao. Okay. Ang layo pala, no? Layo ng lugar niyo. Sobrang layo. Oh my gosh, hindi pa ako nakaabot sa part na to. Pinakamalayo siguro na abot ko sa part na to is... Saan ba yun? Pumunta kami ng... Hindi. Dito sa may dito sa may... hindi pa ako umabot dito. Hindi ako umabot ng Tuguegarao. There was one time may klase kami sa Tuguegarao pero hindi ako na-assign dun. Hindi nga. Wala pa. Hindi pa ako nakapunta. Parang dito na part, ang pinakamalayo na po. Pero nakapunta ako ng Cagayan Valley. Na ang layo talaga. No? Umabot kami ng ilang oras na biyahe. Kasi atad lang kami ng quiz show. Sobrang layo. Okay. Malapit lang ba yan? Hindi, sorry guys. Hindi ako magaling sa geography. Pero malayo pa kayo sa sa ano yun? Oo nga, malayo pa nga. Hindi ko malayo lang. Yung Nueva Ecija. Saan ba yung Nueva Ecija? Malayo pa ba yun? Baguio lang napuntahan ko dito. Dito na part. Mabot ako ng Nueva Ecija. Pero parang, Malayo ba yun, guys? Nakichikahan. 7 to 6 hours away. Pero yung sa inyo is mas sa taas pa ng Nueva Ecija. Am I right? Taas pa ng Nueva Ecija. Sa taas pa kayo. Okay. Ayan. Yung Sagada. Dun pala yung Sagada. Layo, no? Sobrang layo. Grabe. Sagada. Malayo pa kayo sa Banawe. So, ilang oras kayo pupunta kayo ng Maynila? 12 hours? Pero meron namang parang, pwede naman siya by plane or bus, lang talaga, land trip. Meron na ibang airplane, may plane. 1 hour ang plane. Ayun, sa Tuguegarao Airport. Okay. Cagayan. Okay. Ayan. Hindi ko kasi alam ko na saan ba yung USLT. And I thought, alam ko dito banda sa Luzon. Akala ko dito lang sa may north, pero hindi ganun kalayo. Malayo pala Tuguegarao pala meaning ng T. Okay. Anyway, ayan. So, I hope no okay yung situation nyo dyan. Hindi naman ganun nakataas yung cases nyo, guys. Hindi naman kayo ganun kataas yung cases. Sakto, hindi na ganun parang bumababa ba yung cases dyan sa inyo? Hindi naman. Okay, thank God. Okay, anyway. Bumabagal, ma'am. Okay. That's good. That's good kasi ibig sabihin, we're almost there na. Sana talaga hindi na. So, lahat dito na 4th year. Okay. Ready na po ba kayong, ready na kayo mag-take? So, kailan po mag-end yung school year nyo? Kasi hindi tayo nag-usap kanina, diretso ako nag-start. And so far, medyo pa. Ayan. We still have 2 hours pa. So baka gusto niyo mag-rest. So far po, okay naman po yung discussion natin. Sa inyo, okay naman yung pacing and all. Okay lang po ba? Or sobrang bilis natin mag-discuss? Okay lang. Sige po, sige. So, ox lang po. Gusto niyo ng break? Or diretso tayo? Kasi hanggang 12 tayo and the time is 5 minutes to 10. I can give you mga 10 minutes break para po makapagpahinga. Sige, magpahinga tayo after the last part ng discussion, which is actually medyo mahaba-haba pa to. Mabibigyan ko kayo ng break, baka mga 30 minutes pa. Break tayo or diretso na? CR break po, ma'am. Sige, pwede tayo mag-CR break. Bigyan ko kayo ng mga 10 minutes break siguro. Kasi pag mamaya pa tayo mag-break, mag-aantay kayo ng mga 30 minutes more kasi medyo mahaba-haba pa to. Oo. Sige, go. Let's have 30 minutes break and then 30 minutes break. Ano daw? Oh my gosh, 10 minutes break lang. 10 minutes break last, CR break, kuha kayo ng tubig, yung makakain nyo, sandali. And then, balik kayo kaagad for para diretso din tayo sa discussion natin. Medyo mahaba pa i-discuss natin. So, actually, 3 yung subjects nyo ngayong araw, pinagsisiksik lang sa oras. So, you will have 10 hours discussion, di ba? Ngayong araw, 10 hours, di ba? 5 hours, 5 hours. Woo! So, morning algebra kayo, 1 and 2, mamayang hapon, continuation ng 2, tapos trigonometry mamayang hapon. So, very exciting. So, go CR break muna, 10 minutes break lang. Go back, balik kayo ng mga 10:05, please. Balik kayo 10:05. Go guys, CR break, CR break. So, while nagsi-CR break yung iba, I have some questions to you guys. Kasi hindi ako nakapag-gain ng momentum sa inyo kanina kasi nga late. So supposedly, before makapag-gain ako ng momentum, lalo na pag mga bagong student. I have some questions to you. Kailan po matatapos yung school year nyo? Expected na graduation po natin, kailan? Kailan po, guys? June. Okay. So, nag-shift na kayo ng calendar. So, nag-shift na kayo ng calendar. Am I right, USLT is a private university, di ba? Yes. Okay. So, June, no? June, malapit na pala. And then, ito yung parang review program nyo. Am I right? This is part of your review program. Itong ginagawa po natin ngayon. Okay. So, I have a question to you guys. Ito is at a fourth year na kayo eh. Let's see kung ano pa rin yung ano. Let's see kung ganun pa rin ba yung nasa isip nyo. My question to you guys is that for everyone, what's your reason bakit kayo nag-engineering? Kasi dito tatlo tayo na engineering eh. Engineering, di ba? Is meron tayong civil, meron tayong EE, at meron tayong ECE. Ano yung reason bakit nag-engineering kayo? Kasi curious ako, hindi naman sa ano, no? But there's a lot of reasons bakit nag-engineering yung student. And I just want to learn some reasons. Ano yung ibang reason bakit nag-engineering? Kasi iba-iba yung rason eh. So may mga iba't ibang factors. So tingnan natin sa inyo, sa inyong school. Ano yung reason bakit nag-engineering kayo? Especially yung specific course nyo. Bakit civil? Bakit electrical? Bakit electronics? Ganyan. Bakit po? Bakit kayo nag-engineering? Curious about sa structures ng building. Okay? That's also one reason bakit gusto ako mag-civil dati. Pero hindi ba bawal sa akin. Kaya napilitan ako mag-ECE. Yes, curious ako sa structures. Maganda naman talaga yung study ng civil and sobrang stress din talaga ng structural engineering. So, kaya, yan. Ano din, salute din sa mga civil engineering students kasi sobrang complicated din ang pinag-aaral nila. How about the others? How about the others? Curious about the structures ng building? Ako kung sa sa civil, curious ako sa bridges. Bridges and itong sa ano yan, yung mga structures na in unpleasant places. Like for example, sa tubig, sa mga cliffs, or sa mountainous areas. Curious ako sa mga ganyan kasi lalo na yung bridges. Amazing siguro yung structural ng bridges. Imagine, there's a lot of designs sa bridges and most of those bridges ay talagang could be considered as one of the most wonderful. Ano yan, yung tourist spot, diba? So, halos sa mga ganyan, even in other countries, international. So, amazing din talaga yung, towers pala. Yung mga towers. Sa sobrang taas ng building, paano yan na ano yung key point for structurals din. So, amazing. Sobrang amazing din sa mga ganyan. How about the others? Yung from EE daw. Tatawag na ako nito, guys. Hindi kayo magsasagot. Sige kayo. Tawag nga tayo dito. Tingnan natin kung gising ba itong mga batang to. Uy. Tingnan natin. Dito tayo sa, mayan na yung mga Dito tayo sa EE. Nandito po ba si Cirilo Christian? Cirilo Christian from 333 BSEE. Hello. Cirilo Christian. Are you here? Are you there? Can I hear something from you? Hello? Cirilo Christian, are you there? Cirilo Christian, nandito po ba tayo? Wala. Wala si Cirilo Christian. Sige. Next, nandito po ba si Clemente Winijoy? Clemente Winijoy.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning. Sorry, hindi nagsagot tong kaklase mo eh. So, ikaw talagang natanungan ko. Ano yung reason bakit nag-engineering ka? Specifically, electrical.
Recording stopped.
May nagsabi po kasi na itry ko. And then, nung may times po kasi na napapadalas yung power interruption dito sa Tuge. Na-curious po ako kung bakit gano'n. So, yun po.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Amazing yung mga reason, it's all about curiosity of something. Thus, you enter that kind of profession because you're curious. So, that's good, no? Iba din yung background ni Winijoy. So, power interruption. Ano ba yung nagsusupply sa dyan? Under ano po yung, ano yan, yung sa, ano yung nagsusupply sa inyo ng power? Under what company po?
Kajel ko po, ma'am.
Okay. Under ba yan sa Aboitiz? Hindi. Hindi yan part ng Aboitiz company. Aboitiz Power Company, hindi naman. Kasi dito sa amin, tawag namin dito Davao Light, pero under Aboitiz sila. Sa Visayas naman, Veco, under Aboitiz din sila. So, meron kasi mga ganun, iba-iba yung pangalan, pero under Aboitiz Company. So, actually, that's one of the best company na pwede yung pasukan sa power industry, Aboitiz, or itong NGCP. Sa mga probinsya kasi medyo malalayo, mountainous area, most of it also under NGCP din sila. Ayan, so that's good and it's good. Thank you very much. Tawag pa ako ng isa ha, bahala kayo dyan guys. Tiisin nyo, charot. Nandito ba si gusto ko ng lalaki. Tugibao James. Sir James Tugibao, under BSEE. Ano yung reason bakit ka nag-electrical? Engineering. Bakit dito sumasagot yung mga lalaki niyo guys? Hello, James, are you there? Are you listening? Tugibao, James. Tugibao, James. Nandyan ka ba? Ayaw talaga magsagot ng mga lalaki. Bakit kaya? Ito na lang, narinig ko to kanina eh. Am I right? Narinig ko ba to? Si Mark Irish Agcauli. Civil. Mark Irish Agcauli, are you there? Mark Irish Agcauli, can I hear something from you? 184 BSCE. Plus, bakit ayaw niyo magsagot? Bakit ayaw niyo magsagot? Ayan, sige nga. Huwag na lang. Last na lang, ECE ito. Ito mga ECE, hindi pwede na hindi kayo magsagot. ECE ako guys, so strict tayo sa ECE. Charot. Okay, sa ECE po, ano yung reason bakit nag-electronics kayo? ECE. Hindi pa ako nakakita na may nagsagot ng ECE kanina. Sino po pwedeng magsagot under from ECE? Tatawag ako, guys. Nandito po ba si Tamayaw Dexter? Tamayaw Dexter. ECE. Hello? Okay, thank you very much for answering, Dexter. Dexter, ano yung reason mo bakit nag-ECE ka? ECE pa talaga? Ano yung reason nag-ECE ka? Hello? Sorry po. Anong reason nag-ECE ka, Dexter? Curious lang din sa electronic components. Okay, it's okay. So, curiosity talaga yung mga nyo, no? Yung reason. Mahihain po ba talaga mga taga-USLT? Mahihain po kayo? Guys, mahihain po ba talaga kayo, guys? Guys, medyo matagal pa tayo matagal pa tayo magsasama. So, ang dami pa na. Medyo shy type lang, Ma'am Char. Pero, marami pa po kasi tayong shy type. Sige, Nico, since nagsalita ka. Nico, ano reason bakit nag-ECE ka? Napasubo bigla. Nico, anong reason?
Ma'am, CPE po dapat yung kukunin ko pero na-demonyo yung kamay ko, nasulat ko BSEC dun sa enrollment form.
Grabe. Tapos, anong na-realize mo nung nag-ECE ka na? Hindi ka naman nagsisi at hindi ka nag-shift.
Napapadalawang isip na ako nung sa chemistry, ma'am, pero nasa 25 ko naman, kaya go na ako, ma'am.
Push
Kaya
na lang.
year na. Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations po. Okay, so, yun na yung mga accidental na mga. Baka may reason talaga bakit ka napunta sa ECE. In the maybe someday you will say, thank you kasi nag-ECE ako. But anyway, guys, so mga shy type kayo. So yung mga teachers po namin dito is sobrang madaldal po. And I hope na magiging comfortable kayo with us as we do our lectures. Kasi for us, especially itong online, medyo challenging sa amin yung online. Kasi unang-una, hindi namin nakikita yung students. So we cannot really see the expression of the students and their impression to us. So by seeing their faces, we can see what are their opinions. Ay, gusto daw magsalita si Mark David Katulin. Mark David Katulin from BSECE. Ano ka, na special mention ka ni Aaron Ed. Ano daw yung reason bakit ka nag-engineering? Sige na, wag ka nang mahiya, please. Makapal mukha ng teacher nyo, so please, wag kayong mahiya, guys. Kasi talagang mas gusto ko yung student nagsasagot, nagka-communicate between both parties. It's kasi nakakaano po talaga yung discussion if sobrang tahimik ng students. Yes, medyo dragging siya. And then also the teacher is wala masyadong motivation to teach kasi hindi nakikita. Influence po ng family and friends. Okay. Hindi ka naman nagsisi at nag-ii ka. Nag-electrical. Hindi ka naman nagsisi by just following them. Okay. Hello? Hindi ka naman nagsisisi na sinunod mo sila na nag-electrical engineering ka. Hindi na magsagot si Mark. Okay. Hindi naman. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So, the reason I asked you guys is because I want to remind everyone na unang-una, congratulations po because you're already here. 4th year na kayo. So, umabot na kayo ng almost at the end point of the journey of an engineering student. Almost engineering student, okay? But I just want to remind also na pumasok tayo ng engineering school because we wish to be called as engineer. Diba? To have that kind of entitlement na ikaw ay isang engineer. Okay? You are an engineer. So, ibig sabihin, regardless of your specialty, civil, electrical, electronics, all of you wish to be an engineer. So you want to be that you want to have that title before your name. Am I right? So I always say to my students na in engineering school, nagbabago talaga yung attitude ng tao and even the perspective of the person. So somehow we start with curiosity. What are these things? Ano yung mga gusto natin? And somehow we start with excitement of entering the school, engineering. But as during the process, somehow there are times na talagang nadadown tayo and we don't want to continue it. Somehow, natatempt tayo to shift courses. And still, for all of you here na nasa 4th year na, congratulations. Kasi umabot kayo ng 4th year. At hindi kayo nagpadala sa pagod, hindi ka pa nagpadala sa stress, and sa downfall during the previous years. But that's not the end point. That is just simply the start of the real profession. So after your engineering school, of course, you need to have that entitlement. And unfortunately, we can just only get the title engineer whenever we have board exam or we take the board exam. I know there was some news, I think this was last year, this year ata, yung secretary ng PRC sabi niya may motion daw na tatanggalin yung PRC. Hindi pwede yun. Hindi dahil nag-take ako, no, that's not that one. I'm not being selfish here. It's because of the credibility. Because whenever we take that board exam out from our professional na criteria, ang mangyayari is yung Pilipinas as mas lalong hindi magiging credible to work those kind of profession in other countries. Mababa na nga yung yung ating education compared to other countries. Kung tatanggalin mo pa yung PRC, yung board exam, edi mas lalong bababa pa tayo. So, lahat na lang pwede maging doktor, lahat na lang pwede maging engineer, lahat na lang pwede magiging lawyer. So, what's the sense of that, diba? What's the sense of all those hardships sa college then if ever pwede naman pala kahit sino. So, the reason of having a board exam is to test our credibility. Supposedly, after graduation, kailangan pasado ka na sa boards kasi inaral mo yun eh. But the thing is, not everyone can do that one. So the reason of having a board exam is to test our credibility that we are credible to be called as engineer, not only in this country, but even to other countries. And that's one thing na gusto kong i-intake for us, not as a student, but as professionals. Because I know you have a lot of plans and you have a lot of goals in industry. You want this kind of company, you want this kind of industry, you want this kind of position, this salary, this number of digits of salary, but more of those things, class. You can never get all of those things if we settle for less. So I'm here to encourage also for everyone to take the board exam because there's a lot of graduating students don't want to take the board exam. Meron po ba dito na ayaw mag-take ng boards? Meron eh. Sobrang dami sa generation ngayon, ang daming ayaw mag-take ng boards because they say, "Ma'am, makakatrabaho naman ako kahit walang boards." Yes, of course. You can have a job without board exam. You can have a job without your license. Pwede talaga. But it's just that, is it the job that you really want? Yes or no? And if that is what you want, in a long run, will you satisfy of having that job alone and not to go higher than that or to have professional fee than that? Kasi ako ayaw ko nun ganun eh. So, the reason is I want to encourage everyone to take the board exam. And I know yan din yung mga goal ng mga organization natin, yung PIES, IIEE, ayan, yung ICEP. So lahat, we are all encouraging all the students to take the board exam because this board exam is really what leads you to your end. That really delivers all of the opportunities at hand from the different companies. So regardless kung top-notcher ka or pasado lang ka, meron talaga yung result when it comes to your profession. So that's why board exam is very important. Now, another thing is, lahat ng mga ginusto yung binanggit ko kanina, yung gusto natin na company, yung position, yung salary, those are valuable things. Well, those are valuable things because these are our goals, these are our investment for ourselves. But I do believe that whenever you want valuable things for yourself, especially these kind of things, then you need to make yourself valuable first. If you want those blessings, then you need to prepare yourself for those kind of blessing. Because whenever we receive it and we're not prepared for it, then all of those things na nandyan na sa harapan natin, nandyan na sana, hindi natin makukuha kasi may kulang. Hindi tayo na-prepare. May kulang pa sa atin. I just want to share with you, we had some sections na under sa SPLE. SPLE is Special Program for licensure examination, which is dun po sa atin, sa UAE, sa Kuwait, sa Qatar. So, lahat po dun ng mga professionals na hindi po nakapag-board exam, magte-take po sila ng board exam. So, ang gagawin ng PRC, pupunta sila dun to execute the board examination. And luckily, and fortunately, we are one of those centers na talagang ni-recruit nila to teach those students, specifically for electrical engineering and electronics engineering. So, nagturo kami doon. So, there are times yung face-to-face, yung mga teachers namin pumupunta ng UAE to teach those students. And then, during online din, meron din kami. Nahinto lang, it's because wala pang schedule ng SPLE kung kailan matutuloy yung board exam dun sa mga countries na yun. So, now, I really ask those students because there's a lot of students there na graduate na 15 years ago, may 30 years ago, ang iba managerial na, ang taas na ng mga posisyon and all. And I asked them, "Sir, why you still decided to take the board exam? You have a good salary there. You have a good job." And then sabi niya, "No, ma'am. It's because we want this, we need this license for our family to get promoted and to have that kind of salary." So maybe malaki doon, pero sabi niya, maliit pa daw yun in that country. Tapos nandun yung family niya. And then meron din nag-iba, para mas lalaki pa sahod namin, ma'am. Kailangan, ma'am eh. Kasi kung dito lang kami, di hanggang dito lang talaga kami sa kumpanya namin. So we need that one, ma'am, para makapasok kami sa mga ganitong kumpanya. So imagine, those are already professional. They already work in a big industry, but they still take the board exam even though so sobrang tagal na nilang mag-graduate. So how much more na tayo na mga fresh grad? So that's I hope na I'm here not only to teach you guys, but to have to water, yan, to water, to pour some, to pour something in that kind of in motivation na I want to take the board exam. Kasi ang daming hindi magta-take ng boards. Sobrang dami talaga. And especially, there are also different schools na they don't orient the students about the board exam. And I think na-orient naman kayo kasi nandito kayo ngayon eh. So, kung hindi kayo na-orient, edi wala sana kayo nandito ngayon. Wala sana kayong review program. So, since may review program kayo, then your school, galing pa naman talaga na first year until the end of your days in their school, in their premises, they are preparing you for the industry. They are preparing you for that board exam. They're preparing you to get that license of yours. So that lahat ng estudyante na mapapalabas na sa school are credible for that given position. So that's one thing na gusto kong i-share sa inyo for this morning session. Sana po lahat, we have that kind of motivation to enter and to take the board exam. Okay? So, yun lang guys. Gusto kong i-share sa inyo. Ayan. Sino daw? Ano daw? Ma'am, quick question. Sino daw po president and vice president sa next election? Ano yan? What do you... Politics? National? Para sa inyo po. Akin? Ano? Politics po ba yan? Class, meron talaga akong isang prinsipyo sa pagtuturo. Lalo na if I meet a lot of people with different cultures, I really don't communicate with respect about politics nor religion because somehow, lalo na pag hindi pa tapos yung discussion ko. Kasi baka hindi na kayo makikinig. Kaya, ano yung sabi ni May sinabi yun si Leila yung, I put myself blah blah blah. Ano yun? Yung hindi siya masasalita. President and vice. Meron na akong vice pero wala pa akong president. Oo. Yan na lang. May vice na ako pero wala akong president. Yan na lang. Stay ako dyan sa sagot na yan. Wala pa sa isip sa akin yung election. Bahala sila dyan. Basta't maayos at sincere sila. Yun lang importante. Okay. Tapos na ako sa vice. May vice na ako. Yung president, wala pa. Let's have this one, degree of equation. Are you ready, everyone? Let's continue. Patuloy po tayo. Sige, let's continue,
Recording
guys.
in progress.
So for the degree of equation, these are very important and we must know how to identify the degree of an equation. So in identifying the degree of an equation, meron po tayo dalawa. Depende kung ilang variables, if you have one variable or two or more variables. In one variable, the degree refers to the highest exponent of the variable. So for example, you have here, anong degree po to, guys? Magsagot po tayo, ha? Magsagot kayo, class. Okay, very good. This is fourth degree na expression. So this is fourth degree given ka meron kang exponent na 4. And the next example, since isa lang naman siya, that is x raised to 5, automatic po this is fifth degree. And then, paano pag 2 or more? Ayan, 2 or more variables. So, paano ba mag-identify? The degree is the maximum sum of the exponents of variables in a single term. So, for example, 4 plus 1, that is 5. 3 plus 4, that is 7. 1 plus 5, that is 6. So, this is the maximum sum. 3 plus 4, that it means that this is 7th degree. Ma'am, does it matter kung ano yung mga variables nandyan? No, it doesn't matter, guys. Basta, nandyan, all you have to do is to get all the exponents, then isum up mo lang. Regardless ano po yung mga variables nandyan every term, class. And then lastly, you have 2 here, 2, and then 1 plus 1, that is still 2. Then this is second degree. So the degree of equation is very important, class, in solving different problems in algebra. So especially in our next topic. So you can screenshot this one if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have this. We have the remainder theorem. For the remainder theorem, class, it's simply a theorem that helps us to identify what is the remainder of the given function divided by a certain divisor. So for example, if the function f of x divided by x minus k, then the remainder r is equal to f of x at x is equal to k. paano naging at x is equal to k? Paano ba gamitin yung remainder theorem in solving this type of problem in identifying the remainder? So, you have 2 points na kailangan tatandaan dito. The first one is the divisor. Ang unang gagawin nyo is you equate the divisor to 0 and find the root. So, for example, you have x minus k. Equate mo ng 0. You can see here that the roots is equal to k. Then, after nyo mo makuha ang roots, then you substitute that root to your f of x to the variable x in the given function, then find the unknown variable. So kaya meron ka dito class that the remainder is equal to f of x at x is equal to k class. So kung tatandaan po natin, magiging ganito lang po yung ang ating gagawin. So if this is x minus k, then the remainder is just equal to f of x at x is equal to k. So more or less, this results to a constant value. Now, another thing, if meron naman tayo, let us say, ax squared plus bx plus c, the expected remainder, okay, expected remainder natin ay ax plus b. I want you to observe the patterns that we have here, class. If ang divisor natin ay ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, the expected remainder is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, if the divisor is ax raised to 4 plus bx cubed plus cx squared plus dx plus e, the expected remainder class would be ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx, okay, and then plus d. Now, anong napansin nyo sa patterns ng ating divisor and remainder? Anong napansin nyo, class? Now, clue, observe the degree of those equations or expressions. Anong napansin nyo po? Anyone? Ano napansin natin? Ano po napansin natin, guys? Okay, ma'am, -1 sa degree. Okay, very good. Yes. If the divisor is in terms of the nth degree, okay, if this is nth degree, ang remainder po natin ay magiging n minus 1th degree. Okay? N minus 1th degree. So, yan yung tatandaan nyo, guys. Okay? Tatandaan nyo to. This would be your guide in solving this kind of problem in applying the remainder theorem. And this one is meron ka kasing dalawang paraan to identify the remainder. Yung ginagawa before, the synthetic division and the long division method. But another way to solve that, which is much more easier, is the remainder theorem. Synthetic division kasi marami kang gagawin nun. But for this one, all you have to do is 2 steps lang. Equate divisor to 0 and then find the roots, tapos substitute to your function f of x. So remember, alam mo lang talaga kung ano yung expected remainder. If you know this concept, then it's easy for us to get the value of the remainder. Mas daling mag-solve, class, basta't alam mo ano yung expected na value nyo, which is simply the remainder itself. Ano ba yung expected itsura ng remainder? Okay? Sige po, paki-screenshot po nito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay. Now, another one is we have quadratic equation. We all know quadratic equation has a second degree equation. And we have a lot of ways to solve quadratic. So, what you have here, class, in front of you is the general form of quadratic equation. When you say general form, this is the general na pattern for the quadratic equation. Hindi yung C na nasa kabila, ha? Yung C dapat nakasabay yung mga x squared tsaka yung x term. So, kung titingnan nyo sa calculator nyo, nandyan po yan sa calculator nyo. Magagamit nyo yung calculator in solving the roots using yung mode, yung mga Casio na calculator, mode 5-3. Mode 5-3 is for quadratic equation, and you can use that one in solving the roots. Another way to solve the roots is pwede factoring, completing the square, ayan. Or pwede na lang natin gamitin itong quadratic formula. So, alam na natin to. Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And in your quadratic formula, there is a part here, an expression that is very important for us to identify the nature of the roots. Ang tawag natin doon ay yun ang discriminant. Saan po dyan yung discriminant natin sa formula class? Saan po dyan yung discriminant natin? Anyone? Okay, ma'am, sa loob po ng radical or b squared minus 5ac. Yes, this is our discriminant. And it helps us to identify the nature of the roots. If ang loob ng ating radical, isipin nyo lang kasi nasa loob siya ng radical. If ang loob ng radical ay greater than 0 or positive, then the roots are real and unequal. Kasi meron kang plus minus dito. If ever equal to 0 yan, then ang discriminant ay magiging 0. Kaya wala ng wala ng plus minus kasi wala ng second term. You have only negative b over 2a. And if ever less than 0, is already negative value, a radical with a negative value inside leads you to an imaginary number. Kaya meron kang plus minus. You have roots are imaginary and unequal. Now, other than this, we have also two formulas na kailangan tatandaan under quadratic equation. We have the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, where all these variables ay in terms po sa ating mga coefficients na nasa quadratic equation natin in general form. You have the sum of the roots, which is negative b over a. B is the coefficient of x, and a is coefficient of x squared. And then you have the products. You have c over a. C is the constant, and a is still coefficient ng x squared class. So these are the following equations that you need in solving quadratic equation. Sige po, solve po tayo ng mga questions. Paki-screenshot po if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have these problems. What is the remainder if the polynomial x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8 is divided by x minus 5? So you have your function here. Ito yung ating f of x, which is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8. And then, yung ating divisor ay i-divide daw natin to 2x minus 5. Ano daw yung remainder? So, unang gagawin natin, first step po is yung divisor. Equate nyo muna yung divisor sa 0. So, ang gagawin ko lang po is solving this step by step, ha? Okay. So, you have x minus 5, equate natin ng 0. So, ang x po natin ay equal to 5. And then, after getting the value of the roots ng divisor, dun tayo sa remainder, which is simply to substitute. So, expectedly, constant tayo dito kasi constant yung roots natin. So, you have your r. So, remember, ang ating remainder is just equal to your f of x at your x po is equal to 5. So, yung remainder natin, your f of x is x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8. Then, substitute lang po. 5 cubed plus 4 times 5 squared minus 3 times 5 plus 8. Ano po yung value ng remainder natin, guys? Tama po ba 2? Pa-confirm naman po ng sagot ng kasama natin. Tama po ba 2 yung sagot dito? Everyone? $218. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, so sagot po natin ay 218. Thank you po. Okay, so that's your remainder. Madali lang, guys. Diba? Substitution lang. Sobrang dali lang ito, guys. Sige po. Do you have any questions? Any clarifications? Nasundan po ba sa remainder theorem before we proceed, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Paki-screenshot po nito. Let's have another problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have this. What is the remainder if the polynomial x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8 is divided by the given expression x squared plus x minus 2? So, we have our f of x. Ang f of x po natin ay x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8. And then, ayan, and then yung divisor po natin is a quadratic equation. Okay? It is a second degree. Second degree. So, x squared plus x minus 2. So, given this one class, can you give me anong expected na remainder dapat ang makukuha natin? Ano expected remainder ang makukuha natin dito, guys? Ano yung degree ng ating divisor? Second degree. So, ibig sabihin, ano expected na remainder na makukuha nyo? Okay, very good. That should be ax plus b. Yes. So, yan yung expected remainder. Ito na yung sagot mo, guys. Yan na yung sagot natin. It's just that we need to find the value of a and b. So, yan na. All we have to do is to fill in the correct values for that equation. So, una, dun tayo sa divisor. Kailangan natin i-equate to 0 ang divisor natin. So, you have x squared plus x minus 2 equal to 0. Can you give me the roots of this quadratic equation? Anong roots po natin? Pwede nyo pong gamitin yung mode 5, 3 po. Gamitin nyo po si mode 5, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Yes. So our roots x sub 1 is equal to 1 and negative 2. Tama? Baliktarin ko lang po. This is negative 2 and your x sub 2 is 1 plus. Ayan. So meron na tayong dalawang roots. Then after getting the value of the roots, next step po natin is we solve for the remainder. Substitute po natin yan. So we have two ways. Class A, 2. Dalawa po yung roots natin. Ibig sabihin, dalawa po tayo dalawang beses tayo mag-substitute. So, unahin po natin dito na side at your f of x. Okay, sorry for that. Yan. At x class equal to negative 2. Okay, at x is equal to negative 2. So, remember that your remainder is just equal to f of x. Okay, at x equal to f of x, which is equal to ax plus b. Ito po yun, no? Okay. At x is equal to negative 2. Ayan lang, class. So, ilagay lang po natin dyan yung equation natin. Equate natin dun sa expected na remainder. And then, all x must be negative 2 lang po. So, you have here x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8, then equate po natin sa ax plus b, then palitan po ng lahat ng x with negative 2. So, negative 2 quantity cube plus 4 times negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2, and then plus 8 equal to a times negative 2 plus b. So, you have negative 2 plus b. Can you give me a negative 2a plus b? Can you give me ano pong value on the right side ng equation natin? Ito po na part. Ano pong value natin dyan? Okay, thank you so much. That is equal to 22. Next. Thank you so much po. Thank you. Next, on the other side naman, at your x be equal to 1. Okay, so we have at x is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, our remainder is equal to f of x. And then, equal din po yan sa ax plus b at x equal to 1. So, all you have to do is to substitute na lang po diretsyo. So, lagay ko muna. So, meron tayong x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8 equal to ax plus b class. So, this is 1 cubed plus 4 times 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus 8 equal to a times 1 plus b. Or that is just a plus b equal to, ano po sa kabilang side po natin, guys? Is this 10? 10 po? Thank you very much po. And with that, you can now have your two equations and two unknowns. Pakilagay po sa calculator natin kay mode 5, 1. Okay, ilagay niyo yung coefficients ni A, ni B, at ng constant po natin. Okay, so ano yung mga values natin dito for both equations? This is -2 for A, 1, 1, 1, 22, and 10. Ano po yung value ng ating A class? At saka ng B natin? Okay, thank you so much. Ang A po natin ay -4. Ang B po natin ay 14. Okay, and with that, you have now your final answer for your remainder. So therefore, the remainder, which is AX plus B, is just equal to what? Equal to -4x plus 14. That is now your final answer, guys. Before I proceed, did you understand the solution for this remainder theorem, everyone? Nasundan po ba paano i-solve to, guys? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. How about the others sa chat box natin? Nasundan naman po. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, thank you, thank you. Sige, paki-screenshot po please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. Let's have this. If the product of the roots of 4x squared plus k plus 5x minus k plus 13 is equal to 0 is 15 over 4, find one of the roots. Okay, hanapin daw natin yung roots given tayo ng product of the roots. So you have here your quadratic equation 4x squared plus k plus 5. Okay, k plus 5x minus k plus 13 equal to 0. And then, ang binigay po sa atin ay product ng roots. So, that is just x1 times x2 equal to 15 over 4. Okay, 15 over 4. Now, aside from this, meron pang binigay sa atin. Aside from 15 over 4, sorry for that. So, yung equation natin kanina for the product of the roots ay C over A, right? That is C over A, which is now, given sa problem, equal to sa 15 over 4. Now, let's fill in some values here. Based on our quadratic equation, your A here is equal to 4. Your B is K plus 5. And then, yung C po natin ay negative of K plus 13. You need to carry this negative sign, class. Always carry the negative sign. So, substitute that one to our equation. The equation C over A equal to 15 over 4 will be negative K plus 13 divided by 4. Okay, divided by 4 equal to 15 over 4. Cancel yung 4. Tama po ba? You have negative K minus 13 equal to 15. That leads us to K equal to negative 28. But this is not the final answer yet. Tama? Hindi pa ito yung sagot. Ang hinahanap natin is the value for your ano yung roots ng quadratic equation. So, substitute that one. You have 4x squared plus negative 28 plus 5x minus negative 28 plus 13 equal to 0 plus. Ayan, sorry. Medyo nasikip. Adjust ko lang konti po. So you have 4x squared plus negative 28 plus 5x minus negative 28 plus 13 equal to 0. Sige, pakilagay po sa calculator po natin. Similar lang po dun po sa mode 5, 3. So, the coefficient ng x squared, coefficient ng x, tsaka yung constant po natin. Or more or less, Ang ilalagay lang po natin dito is yung A, B, and C. So what is your A, your B, and your C? Pakilagay po yung saktong value together with negative 28. So negative 28 plus 5. And then si C ay negative of negative 28 plus 13. Ayan. Ano po yung dalawang roots natin, guys? Okay, thank you very much. So you have your x sub 1 equal to 5. And we have our x sub 2 equal to 3/4. And that's it for this problem. Nakuha po ba yung problem na to? Meron po ba tayong mga tanong or mga clarification? Naintindihan naman po, everyone? Naintindihan naman, guys? Okay. Thank you so much. Pwede pong paki-screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have our next problem, which is this. Find the value of k so that the equation 2x squared plus 3kx plus 9 equal to 0 will have only one root. In solving this problem, paano natin ito makukuha si k class na dapat isa lang yung root ng equation? Paano natin kunin to? Anong gagamitin natin for us to assure na meron lang talaga siyang isang root class? Only one root. Paano po? Okay. So, the best way to solve this one is discriminant. Diba? Naalala niyo yung nature of roots? Ano nga yung dapat value ng discriminant para meron lang isang root? Yung b squared minus 4ac. Ano nga dapat yung value? Yes. Para yung isang root lang, ang discriminant po natin ay equal lang ng 0 class. So, as you can see, you can get the values here. Ang b po natin ay 3k. Ang ating a po ay 2. And then, ang C po natin ay 9. So, direct substitute lang natin to solve the given problem. So, you have 3k, quantity squared, minus 4, times 2, times 9, that is equal to 0. So, you have 9k squared, minus, equal to 4, times 2, times 9. Ano po yung value ng ating k class? Tama po ba? 2 square root of 2? Am I right? Okay, kasi cancel to cancel po yung ating 9 na may iwan na lang ay 8. Am I right? So, 8 is 2 square root of 2. That's it for this problem. Naintindihan po ba, guys? Nagets po naman to? Everyone? Nasanda naman po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, now that's the end of our first part ng discussion natin. That's the algebra part 1. Now, for the algebra part 2, continue na tayo guys hanggang 12 noon. Ang i-discuss po natin ngayon, paki-screenshot po please if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And, okay. For the next part of our discussion, we're going to discuss word problems, guys. So, in worded problems, ito medyo masakit to sa ulo and just please be still. And then, you can do naman, you can eat if you want, you can drink if you want. And then, just listen very carefully and everything that we're going to discuss. So, sa worded problems, dito po papasok yung age problem natin, yung coin problem, mixture, work, motion, and then clock problem. So, I'll try my best to explain every type of problems, very simple, so that everyone can understand. And the continuation of this part is dun mamayang hapon po with Sir Judd. So yung na-meet nyo kaninang umaga. So siya yung magdi-discuss sa inyo ng part 2 and also ng inyong trigonometry. Okay, so now in worded problems, the goal here is not just by knowing on how to solve different types of problems, like on how to solve age problem, how to solve mixture. Ayan, no, it's not, yes, that's part of the discussion, of course. But the main point of this topic is that you should master on how to translate words to symbols, phrases to expressions, sentences to equations. You should able to know on how to translate all those English words to mathematical na expressions or equations class. And that is the most important part in this discussion. Because if you know how to translate, then there's no problem for the higher mathematics that involves very, very complicated worded problems. And not just only the problems itself or the translation itself, but even it involves other functions or other operations. Kasi dito algebra lang pag-uusapan natin eh. So we will just focus on 4 basic operations, arithmetic operations, addition, the multiplication, the subtraction, and the division. But in higher mathematics, we are going to deal with worded problems that involves differential calculus, integral calculus, differential equations, and even advanced mathematics for other courses. So it means that if you know how to deal with these basic sentences to mathematicals or to symbols, then there's no problem for you to translate the higher mathematics worded problems also to symbols class. So yan yung focus natin. So I have here some phrases and sentences. Can you give me the equivalent class of each phrases or sentences? So let all variable lang class, let x be the unknown. Okay, so for this one, twice as much as the unknown. Ano po yung value ng ating, ano po yung expression natin dyan? Yung symbol natin. Thank you very much. That is just 2x. How about this? 7 more than the unknown. 7 more than the unknown. Okay, very good. That is just x plus 7. Thank you so much. How about if we have 20 less than thrice a number? 20 less than thrice a number. Tingnan nga natin yung mga sagot nyo. 20 less than thrice a number. That is, yes, 3x minus 20. Remember, kung meron kang A less than B, okay, that is B minus A class. Okay, so because of this less than class, nag-interchange po yung dalawang parang element class in mathematical expression. How about this one? Divide 23 into 2 parts. Divide 23 into 2 parts. Paano po yan? Okay. Now, take note of the problem class. Pag hindi po stated sa problem, don't assume. So, sinabi ba sa problem class, divide 23 into 2 equal parts? Hindi naman sinabi, di ba? Hindi niya sinabing equal parts. So, it means that I divide 23 unevenly. Basta, pag i-combine ko, 23 pa rin. Parang ganito. Oy, may tinapay ako. Hati tayo. Mas malaki sa akin na kasi mas matanda ako sa iyo. So, basta pag i-combine natin, tinapay, isang buong tinapay pa rin yan. So, we can just simply divide 23 into 2 uneven parts. So, not necessarily equal to 2 parts. So, we don't know paano niya dinivide. So, let's use the variables. So, divide 23 into 2 parts, that is just x and 23 minus x, di ba? Where x is the unknown, and kung ano yung sobra, that is just by subtracting x from 23, you get the other part of the 23. But if we combine these two, x plus 23 minus x, that still results to 23, guys. Did you understand of this class, of this example? Paano naging ganyan yung expression or symbol natin? Nasundan naman po, guys. Okay, very good. How about the others? Nasundan naman po? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Pero tama yung sinabi ha, yung ma'am, 5 plus 8, 1 plus 22. Yes, pwede. So, since hindi natin alam saan dun, kasi meron tayong parang sobrang daming options to make it as a correct answer, we'll just simply use variable x for that. Okay? Thank you so much. Next, we have here 2 consecutive integers. We all know integers are whole numbers, di ba? So, pag sinabing consecutive, magkakasunod po yun. So, ano po yung magiging ano natin? 2 consecutive. Yes, that is just x and x plus 1. So, you don't need to add both. Hindi naman sinabi sum of. Sinabi lang 2 consecutive integers. So, ibig sabihin magkaiba po yun. The x and the x plus 1. Thank you so much, guys. How about this? Divide unknown into 2 equal parts. Okay, this one is very specific. So, anong expression natin dito? Sinabi niya talaga into 2 equal parts. Ano yung magiging symbol natin, guys? Okay, that is x plus 2. Yes. How about excess of x minus 32 over 3? Excess of x minus 32 over 3. Pag sinabi mong excess class, ano yan sa Tagalog? Pag excess. Sobra, di ba? Pag kukuha ka ng sobra, or i-compute mo yung sobra, ano yung gagamitin mo na operation? For example, nagbayad ka. Sinuklis, binalik sa iyo yung sobra. Ano yung operation para magkuha ng sobra? Okay. Yes, subtraction, di ba? You use subtraction operation if ever you want to get the sobra. Siguro medyo tricky lang yung over. Kasi pag sinabi nating over, that is already division just like similar to fraction. So, there are times sasabihin nila, ma'am, remainder yan. Okay, class hindi yan remainder. Yung remainder kasi, yan yung butal. Butal. Pag sinabi natin, di ba sakto ba butal? Yung parang after mo paghahatiin, meron ditong uneven na hindi nahati equally. Or hindi nahati equally or hindi divisible yung number to your divisor. Butal, di ba yung tawag nun? Yung remainder. Sa amin, sa Bisaya, tawag namin dyan is parang bungkig. Ayan. Yung uneven yung pag-divide. Yung remainder kasi results, a certain division results to a remainder if ever the numerator is not divided evenly by the denominator. So, ayan. Yes, that is x minus 32 minus 3. That is excess class. Pag sinabi natin excess, that is subtraction, ha? Hindi po yan siya, hindi po yan siya remainder. Sobra. Sobra yung kukunin. And the last one, how about this? 5 is 3 times as much as x. Pag sinabi natin is, ano po to sa math? And you say is, ano po to sa math, guys? Equal, di ba? So, 5 is equal 3 times as much as x. Very good. That is just 5 equal to 3x, guys. Did you understand all these examples that we have here, guys? Nasundan naman po, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Sige po. Ayan. So, screenshot if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay. So, all of the things that we're going to discuss this second part class is basically lang involves 4 basic operations. So, the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division. And these are the following terms na that you need to be familiar so that we'll be able to know anong gagamitin na operation natin in a worded problem. So, all you have to do is to be familiarized with all the terms, and of all the operations, you need to be careful with the 2, the subtraction and the division. Remember that A minus B is not the same with B minus A, nor yung A divided by B, same po ng B divided by A. So you need to be careful sino yung nauna at sino yung nahuli. So hindi ko na to kailangan i-explain. Let's proceed to the different problems that we might encounter in algebra worded problems. Paki-screenshot po. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have our first type of problem. Our first type of problem has a relationship to ratio and proportion. So before we proceed to that first type of problem, we need first to define what's the difference between the ratio and proportion. When you say ratio, that shows the relative sizes of 2 or more values. Let us say A is to B. Or for example, the number of boys to the number of girls, I have 15 is to 20. So 15 girls to 20 boys. So 15 is to 20. And this expression can be also represented in fraction A divided by B, where A is the antecedent and B is the consequent class. Okay? Now, when you say proportion naman, it shows the equality of 2 ratios. Again, when you say proportion, it shows the equality of 2 ratios. So you have A is to B equal to C is to D, or A divided by B equal to C divided by D, where B and C are the means and A and D are your extremes. Thus, again, in fraction, it is A divided by B equal to C, over D. And you should not rearrange all these 4 variables here because it might lead you to a different answer. So the arrangement in ratio and proportion are very essential. So you need to be careful on expressing all of those variables in correct order. Okay? Sige po, paki-screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. Now, in proportion, we have three following terms that you need to be familiar. 3 following terms. So the first one is third proportional of A and B. So for example, sinabi, third proportional of 2 and 4. Ano yung third proportional 2 and 4? So paano ba? That is A divided by B equal to B divided by C. So you have 2 and 4 daw. Follow the pattern. 2 divided by 4 equal to 4 divided by C, where your C is your third proportional. Ayan. Now, observe this part, class. As you can see here, in third proportional, all your means are equal. Okay? Means natin equal. Ito, oh. Ayan, equal sila. Yan yung means natin. So, if you get the third proportional, itong means na equal, class, we call that one as mean proportional of A and C. So, from that, you get B squared equal to A times C. Thus, the mean proportional of A and C is square root of AC. So, if ang question, class, if ever sa problem is mean proportional, okay? So, mean proportional of 2 and 4, that would be B is equal to square root of 2 times 4. Ayan. Or that is just 2 square root of 2. That is mean proportional. And the last term is the fourth proportional. So, for example, ano yung fourth proportional of 2, 4, and 6, class? So, in pattern, that is just A divided by B, C divided by D. So, 2 divided by 4 equal to 6 divided by D. And D, class, serves as your fourth proportional. So, here, class, in these following terms or in proportion, sabi ko kanina, you need to be careful on the order of the elements that are stated in the problem. So, sinabi 2, 4, 6, then follow the order, 2, 4, 6. 2 and 4, follow the order. Don't interchange 2 and 4, class, just for the sake na gusto mo. Okay? So, just follow the order stated in the problem in solving this type of problem. Okay? Nasundan po ba yung tatlong terms na to, guys? Everyone? Gets naman po? Nasundan naman to, guys? How about the others? Gets naman? Okay, thank you very much. Now, saan ba natin mostly magkikita tong ratio and proportion? Okay, makikita natin yan on our first type of problem. We have the variations problem. Now, the variations problems, these are problem, class, that we use, right? These are the problems na yun yung naririnig natin na directly proportional, inversely proportional, ayan. So we have 3 specific type of variations. So first, we have the direct variation. For example, y is directly proportional to x. If y increases, then x also increases. If y decreases, x also decreases. In equation, that is y equal to kx. Anong ang tawag natin sa k, class? Anyone? Anong tawag natin sa k dito? Okay, this is known as the proportionality. Yes, proportionality constant. And take note of the word constant. Ibig sabihin, it does not change. So, itong k does not change regardless of the value of your y and your x. So, an example of direct variation is the equation of force. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. Sa dalawang variable, mass and acceleration, saan kaya dyan yung constant natin? Pag sinabi natin constant, kahit anong mangyari sa ibang variables, hindi po siya magbabago. Anyone? Can you tell me ano po yung constant natin dyan? Is it the mass or the acceleration? The mass or the acceleration, class? Okay, the answer is mass. Mass, class. Hindi acceleration. Si acceleration kasi nagbabago. When you say acceleration, it accelerates, bumibilis, bumabagal. So, for example, meron kang bola. Does the mass of the ball in the ground changes, class? If yung acceleration natin is is increasing or decreasing? Diba? Hindi naman. Or yung force na ina-apply mo, kahit gaano pa yan kalakas, kataas, na kalaki na force, or kaliit na force na in-apply mo, the mass of the ball will stay the same. Kung gaano man kabilis gumagalaw yung bola na yan, or gaano kabagal yung bola na yan gumugulong, hindi po nagbabago yung mass. The acceleration changes, the force changes, but the mass is constant on the ground glass. How about the second one? So that is inverse variation. So for example, y is equal to, or y is inversely proportional to x. So in equation, that is just y equal to k times 1 over x class. Still, k is your proportionality constant. One example of that is the density. Of course, mass is constant regardless of ano na yung mababago sa volume and density ng ating material. And the last one is we have the joint variation. The joint variation is for multiple variables, which is 3 or more variables. So, pwedeng 4, pwedeng 5. So, yan yung tinatawag na joint variation. It involves 3 or more different variables. So, for example, you have 3 variables here. Y is directly proportional to the product of x and z, or direct proportional to x and z. So, in equation, this is y equal to kxz. Now, I have an equation here, and I want you to identify ano yung equation na to. Yan. Example, f is equal to k times q1 times q2 divided by d squared. Ano po yung force na yan, class? That is also force. Ano po yan siya na type of force? Okay, that is under Coulomb's law. Tama? Ito yung tinatawag natin na electrostatic force. Familiar po ba tayo? Familiar tayo sa ano to under ECE and EE. EE, are you familiar with this? Engineers, familiar po ba tayo dito? Electrostatic force. Okay, so electrostatic force, the force is directly proportional to the product of the two charges, but inversely proportional to the square of the distance. This is the force class between two charges present. But meron pa tong isa. Ito, makaka-relate na to lahat. Meron pa tong isang force na para sa mga massive objects at sa mga malalaking objects, specifically heavenly bodies. Ano yung isang force na yun? Meron to dalawa to sila. Ito tsaka yung isa. Ito yung para sa maliliit na particles. Meron pang isa sa mga malalaki naman. Sobrang laki. Like Earth and Sun, ganyan. Earth and Moon. Ano po yun, guys? Okay, the gravitational force. Kung naalala nyo, gravitational force is equal to G, yes, M1, M2 divided by D squared. That is still directly proportional to the product of two masses, but inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So these are the following different variations class that we might use in solving different problems. Paka-screenshot po and let's have our questions. Screenshot please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have our first problem. If x varies directly as y and inversely as z, and x is equal to 14, when y is equal to 7 and z is equal to 2, find the value when y is 16 and z is 4. So this is joint variation. So meron ka daw value ng x. Sabi dito sa problem, x is varies directly as y and inversely as z. So if we make this one as an equation, this would be xz equal to ky. Now I'm going to rearrange this one class. This would give me xz divided by y equal to k. Now, k is the proportionality constant and it does not change. Diba? Sabi ko kanina, it does not change. Pero ito, hindi to hinahanap ng problem. So, pag sinabi natin constant, constant does not change regardless ano si X, ano si Z, ano si Y. Constant will remain unchanged. Kaya nga, constant, di ba? So, thus, ibig sabihin kahit anong value pa yan, kung meron akong x1, z1, divided by y sub 1, okay? Pag i-equate ko to sa k, di ba similar lang din yan? K, it will still result to k if I have x sub 2, z sub 2, divided y sub 2. Agree po ba tayo dito? Still, value niyan ay k pa rin, guys. Agree po ba tayo? Kahit anong value ng x, yan pa rin yung k value natin. Yes, it does not change, right? So, substitute po natin yung mga values. So, we can just simply equate this. x1, z1 divided by y1 is just equal to x2, z2 divided by y sub 2. So, x1 po natin is 14. Z po natin is 2. Ang y niya daw ay 7. Ang tinatanong dito, find the value of x sub 2 when your z is 4 and y is 16. So, therefore, ano po yung value ng ating x, guys? Okay. Sakto po ba? X po natin ay 16. X sub 2. Everyone? Sakto po. Okay, great. Paki-screenshot po if you don't have any questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have our next problem. Let's have this. If 20 bakers can bake 40 pizzas in 8 hours, how many bakers can bake 60 pizzas in 5 hours? If you read this problem, class, anong type of worded problem meron tayo? Alam, basahin nyo lang, na kayo lang. Ano kaya sa tingin nyo yung worded problem na meron tayo? Ano kaya yan? 20 bakers can bake 40 pizzas in 8 hours. How many bakers can bake 60 pizzas in 5 hours? Anong type of problem yan? For example, hindi kayo nag-variation problem. Pag tatanungin ko kayo paano nyo isolve yan, anong gagawin nyo? Okay. Ma'am, ratio and proportion. Yes. And also, diba para siyang work problem, guys? Tama po ba? Para siyang work problem. And also, yes, pwede talaga siyang maging ratio. So, now, ang gagawin lang natin dito is we need to identify all the variables. Sakto yung mga sinabi nyo, guys. Walang mali dyan, ha? B po natin is for the bakers. And then, P po natin is for the pizzas. And then, yung T natin, class, is for our time. So, for example, class, I'm going to have this variable P, the amount of pizza. Kung gusto ko ng maraming pizza, ilan dapat yung bakers na gusto ko? Marami or konti lang? Kung gusto ko ng maraming pizza, ilan dapat yung bakers na gusto ko? Marami. Tama? Maraming bakers. So therefore, ano yung relationship ng bakers sa number of pizza? Is it directly or inversely? Directly proportional. Good. This is B. Next, how about time, class? Kung gusto ko ng maraming pizza, gaano ba kahaba yung kailangan ko na oras? Mahaba ba or konti lang yung kailangan? On respect to time, mahaba din. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung relationship ng pizza dun sa oras? Directly, inversely. Yes, directly din, Kas. So, ibig sabihin, for you to have a lot more pizzas, you need to have a lot more workers, the bakers. If you need to have a lot more pizzas, then you need to have a lot of time to bake, class. So, those are directly proportional. So, in equation that is P equal to K BT. Labas natin si K, meron po tayong P divided by B times T, which is equal to K, class. Ayan. So, still, gagawin lang po natin yung ginawa natin kanina. You have P1 divided by B1 divided by B1 T sub 1 equal to K. And then equal po sa P sub 2 divided by B sub 2, T sub 2. And then direct substitute ng po lahat ng mga values na meron tayo dito. So, you have P1 divided by B1, T1 equal to P2 divided by B2 plus, times T2. So, solving po, yung P1 po natin, you have 40 pizzas. So, meron tayong 40 pizzas divided by 20 bakers na nag-bake for 8 hours. And then, sabi dito, how many bakers needed if gusto niya ng 60 pizzas. And then, meron lang siyang 5 hours. What is your answer for this problem? Kasi how many bakers they needed? Okay. Thank you very much. It requires 48 bakers class. Ayan. Nasundan po ba guys? Yung problem na to? Gets
Yes.
naman po? Okay, good. Paki-screenshot po if gusto po natin, please. Okay, good. It's good. It's good. Do you have any question for this type of problems? Tas naintindihan naman po. Naintindihan naman, guys? Thank you so much. Sige, our next type of problem is we have the age problems. Now, for age problems, madali lang to. Kailangan nyo lang tatandaan yung 3 points na sasabihin ko. So, una is the present. If the sentence in our worded problem is in a present tense, always assume a variable at the present time. Again, always assume a variable only at the present time. So, for example, I am X years old. So, never, or kung hindi man necessarily never talaga, but kung maaari, always let your variable at the present age of each person involved. Now, if the sentence shifted to past tense, for example, 5 years ago, younger by 5 years, anong gagawin ko sa ed ko class after kung aking ibabalik yung 5 taon na nang nakaraan? Anong gagawin ko sa edad ko? Babawasan ko, right? Yes. Babawasan ko ng 5 taon. So, hindi lang yung edad ko, kundi edad ng nanay ko, edad ng tatay ko, edad ng kapatid ko, pati yung aso at pusa namin. So, lahat ng edad babawasan. Walang nahuling magtanda, wala ding naunang magtanda. So, lahat po ay babawasan ng 5 taon. So, you have 5 years ago or younger by 5 years, guys. So, that's one thing na importante din. Kasi hindi yan sasabihin sa problem class na magbabawas ka. Instinct mo yan na magbabawas ka talaga. So what I mean here is hindi lang yung isang tao ang babawasan mo, kundi lahat ng tao involved sa problem ay babawasan mo yung mga edad nila if magpapastan siya. Okay, lahat ng tao involved sa problem. Next one is we have the future tense. So for example, that is in 7 years from now, 7 years hence, anong gagawin ko sa edad ko class? Okay, magdadagdag ako ng 7 taon. Hindi lang edad ko, kundi edad ng lahat. So, therefore, all of the people involved in the problem or person involved in the problem, kailangan po lahat ay magdagdag ng taon kung ilan man yung pinag-uusapan. So, these are the 3 key points in solving age problem. At the present, you assume a variable. Pag past, magbawas. Pag future, magdagdag. Hindi to sinasabi sa problem. Automatic po kailangan alam na natin to because mainly this is the concept of age class, of knowing the age of a certain person, or simply making an equation based on the ages of the number of persons. So all you have to do is to take note lang talaga kailan mag-add, kailan mag-subtract. Okay? At hindi lang po isang tao ha, kundi lahat po. Sige. Let's have some examples para maintindihan po natin to. Let's have our first one. Roberto is 25 years younger than his father. However, his father will be twice his age in 10 years. How old is Roberto? So, meron tayong 2 persons involved dito. So, we have R for Roberto. And then, we have F for the father. So sabi dito, Roberto is 25 years younger than his father. Class, ako po pag nagsosolve ng age problem, hindi po ako gumagawa ng table. Ang ginagawa ko po is lahat po ay diretso na sa equation. Hindi ako gumagawa ng table kasi mas nakakalito yun for me and maybe some of the student, they don't want it also kasi parang mas humahaba yung discussion. So, ang ginagawa ko, diretso na equation. Let's have this. Roberto is, okay, that is present. Okay, nasa present time tayo. So, Roberto is 25 years younger than his father. Anong equation natin dyan, guys? Younger than his father. Anong equation natin dyan kay Roberto? Okay, that is F minus 25. So again, F minus 25 kasi yan yung edad ni father, si F. So Roberto is 25 years younger than his father, so you have F is minus, R is equal to 5, F minus 25. Rearranging po nito, I will have R minus F equal to negative 25. So I have already our first equation. Next, however, father will be twice his age in 10 years. So, ibig sabihin that is already in the future. Okay? Future to class. So, sabi dito, however, his father will be twice as his age in 10 years. In 10 years daw. Okay? So, lagay natin dito, in 10 years. So, anong gagawin nga yung class? Pag future, magdagdag tayo. So, in 10 years, the father's age, okay, F, 10 years. Anong gagawin ko sa present age ni father, class? Both here are present ages. Anong gagawin ko sa edad ni father? In 10 years daw. Anyone? Anong gagawin ko sa edad ni father, guys? Okay, that is plus 10. So, F plus 10. Tama? Father will be 10, will be twice his age in 10 years. Okay, however, his father will twice his age. Ano ba to? Sino ba tong si his? Yan ay si Roberto. Tama? So, twice daw sa edad ni Roberto in 10 years. So, equal to Roberto, twice daw, twice. 2 times Roberto is R. Since in 10 years, dagdag ka rin ng 10 years dito kay Roberto. Hindi mo pwedeng bawasan yan. Okay? And ang tanong, ano daw yung edad ni Roberto? So, ayan na guys. You can now get the answer for this problem. So, our rearranging, this is F plus 10 equal to 2R plus 20. So, this is 2R minus F equal to negative 10. So, you have your two equations to unknowns. Para solve po sa calculator kung maaari. We have mode 5, 1. So, kay R, kay F, and then constant. Ano po yung mga edad nila, class? This is 1, negative 1, negative 25. And then, you have 2, negative 1, and negative 10. Ayan. Ano po yung value ng R natin, guys? Thank you so much. R is 15 years old. And then, father is 40 years old. Nasundan po ba, guys, yung sagot natin dito, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, kailangan lang talaga na maano po natin, masunod lang natin yung 3 points na sinabi ko kanina. Paki-screenshot po if you want to, please. Next problem po tayo. Let's have our next problem. Ayan. The sum of the parents' ages is twice the sum of their children's ages. 5 years ago, the sum of the parents' ages was 4 times the sum of their children's ages. In 15 years, the sum of the parents' ages will be equal to the sum of their children's ages. How many children were in the family? Sige guys, i-internalize niyo muna yung problem. Tingnan natin. Ano yung masasabi niyo sa problem na yan? Go! Internalize muna, guys. Ano masasabi niyo sa problem? For a while lang, guys. Okay, so this is one of the challenging question in each problem. Ang maganda kasi sa problem na to, masasum up natin lahat ng mga sinabi ko kanina, yung 3 points. Ang kailangan nyo lang po dito is to assign variables correctly. Yun lang. Kailangan marunong po tayo mag-assign ng variables. So you have here, ganito kasi yung description niya. The sum of the parents' ages. The sum of the children's ages. 5 years ago, the sum of the parents' ages. Then the sum of the children's ages. In 15 years, similar. Sum of the parents' ages and then sum of the children's ages. So ibig sabihin, we can simply assume a variable based on the description sa problem. So we let P class as the sum of the parents' ages. So, ilan ba yung parents natin, class? 2. Nanay, tsaka tatay. So, P po natin is mother plus father. Okay, sum of the parents. Alam natin, meron tayong 2 persons involved in P class. Next is we have C. Ang C naman is sum of the children's ages. So, sum of the children's ages. So, dito class, sa sum ng children's ages, alam mo yung P, 2 tao involved. Kasi nandyan si nanay, nandyan si tatay. Now, how about dito sa C? Alam mo ba class kung ilan yung bata meron? Yes or no? Alam ba natin ilan yung bata meron tayo? Yes or no? Wala. That's the question. How many children were in the family? So, this is the number of children class. Okay? That is the number of children. That's the question being asked. So, yan. Sagutin natin to class. Let us first have the present. Kasi yung first sentence natin ay present. So, ang gagawin nyo dito, gawa lang ng equation, sentence by sentence. So, at the present time, sabi dito sa problem that, ayan, the sum of the parents' ages twice the sum of their children's ages. So, P is equal to 2C. Rearranging, we have P minus 2C equal to 0. Next, we have here 5 years ago. Wait, that is past tense. So, ano nga yung gagawin? Basta past tense class, magbabawas, di ba? So, sum of the parents' ages was 4 times the sum of their children's ages. So, the sum of the parents' ages was 4 times. So, P equal to 4C. Okay? 4C. Sorry. Pero, ang sabi kasi past. So, anong ang gagawin ko dito, class, sa edad, class? Anong ang gagawin ko dito sa edad? Basta past tense. Everyone, this is 4C. Anong gagawin ko sa edad? Magma-minus. So, magbabawas ako dito kay P ng 5. Pero, kung 5 lang yan, mali yan, class. Kailangan 2 na 5. Ma'am, bakit 2? Remember, class, that P is the sum of the parents' ages. It has 2 persons involved. So, ibig sabihin, kung pupunta tayo ng past, ang edad ni nanay bawasan ng 5, plus ang edad ni tatay bawasan ng 5. So, ano yung magiging value ng P natin ngayon? That is just P minus 10. Okay? So, remember na magbabawas ka sa lahat ng tao, hindi lang isang tao, kundi lahat ng tao. And also remember that P and C are not really the ages. These are the sum of the ages. So, you need to consider ilan ba yung tao involved in every sum do we have. So, P is involved 2 persons in one sum. So, kaya P minus 5 times 2. So, ngayon, 4 times daw to sa edad ng mga anak, sum ng edad ng mga anak. So, magbawas ka rin ng 5. Pero, ilan yung ibabawas mo na 5 class? Kung ilan yung bata. Ilan ba yung bata, class? Anong equation natin on the right side? Yes, magkakaroon ka ng x variable dyan. Bakit x, ma'am? Hindi mo kasi alam yung x, ay yung number of children. Yan yung question sa problem. So, kaya dyan napapasok yung sagot natin on how we're going to solve the problem, class. Just make use of that statement kung ilan yung bata meron. Before I proceed, did you understand sa paggawa ng equation natin, class, for the second sentence, yung past? Naintindihan po ba? Paano po nagawa yung equation natin dito before I proceed, everyone? Yes, okay. How about yung iba po? Gusto ko po ma-confirm kung naintindihan po.
Oh, 11:30. 11:30. 30.
Okay, so thank you so much. So this would be P minus 10 equal to 4C minus 20x. And then simplifying, you have P minus 4C plus 20x equal to 10. That is your second equation. And then the last equation, class, which is nandito sa third sentence natin, sabi dito that in 15 years. Okay, that is already future, di ba? So in 15 years. So the sum of the parents' ages will be equal to the sum of the children's ages. So ibig sabihin, P po natin plus, kasi 15 per future, plus 15, ilang 15? Dalawa. Minus, ganun din, equal to sa C, sum of the children's, plus 15, kasi future, and then kung ilan yung mga bata, class. Uulitin ko, sum of the parents' ages plus 15 kasi future, dalawang 15 kasi dalawang tao involved, nanay, tatay, is equal to the sum of the children's ages plus 15, pero this time multiplied by x kasi hindi natin alam kung ilan yung bata meron, class. So with that, we can now get our third equation in solving this problem, class. So you have here P plus 30 equal to C plus 15x, or you have P minus C minus 15x equal to negative 30. This is now your third equation. So all you have to do is to use your calculator mode 5 2. So first equation, second equation, and we have the third equation. So this is mode 5 2, class. So lagay po natin yung P, yung C, yung X, and yung constant po sa kabilang dulo. So sa first, second, and third equation. So this is 1, 1, 1. We have negative 2, negative 4, negative 1. This is 0, 20, negative 15, 0, 10, and negative 30. Okay, ano po yung sagot natin for P, class? Okay, thank you very much. So, yung P po natin for a while. Oops. Ayan, your P is 90. Your C is 45. So, yung X natin is meron silang 5 children. So, nasundan po ba yung discussion natin for this problem, class? Do you have any questions or any clarifications? Nasundan po ba? Thank you so much po for participating. Okay, about the others po, nasundan po ba yung discussion natin? From other courses, nasundan po ba? Wait lang, may tanong. Ma'am, ano yun? Ma'am, pwede pakiulit dun sa 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, the sum of the parents' ages will be 4 times the sum of the children's ages. So you have P minus, ano nga yung sabi ko? Di ba pag past, magbabawas tayo. So minus 5. Pero bakit may times 2, ma'am? Remember that P is not a person. That is sum of the parents' ages. So itong P is composed of 2 persons, si nanay tsaka si tatay. So kung 5 years ago yan, sabi ko kanina, pag pupunta ka ng past, lahat ng edad babawasan mo. Lahat ng tao involved. So ibig sabihin kung P is the sum of the parents' ages, then all persons involved in that variable P, subtract mo ng 5 taon. So, si edad ni nanay, M-5, edad ni tatay, F-5. Thus, magre-result tayo ng P, which is nagbawas ka ng 10 na. Kaya meron kang 5 times 2 dito. Similar also to C. Now, sabi dito 4 times the sum of the children's ages. So, 4 times C. Pero, this is the sum of the children's ages. Hindi yan tao lang. Sa maraming tao involved in that variable. So, kaya, magbabawas ka po ng 5 taon. Pero ilang 5 taon? Kung ilan yung bata involved, which is our variable X. Okay? Gets na? Ayan. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Sige po, paki-screenshot po nito. Screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next problem na i-discuss is we have the digit problem. Sa digit problem class, kailangan nandito alam nyo anong pinagkaiba ng number and digits. So for example po, ito po yung number natin. So I have a number here which is, oops, palitan natin to kasi medyo dark. Ayan. So for example, meron po akong number na 975. So this is the number. Now, to get the number class, diba? Meron tong mga places. This is the thousand place, this is the hundreds place, and this is the unit place. Uulitin ko. Palitan ko lang po ng bagong kulay. Again, this is the thousands, this is the hundreds, and this is the unit. So if you want to get 975, which is the number, that is just equal to yung thousands, that is 1,000 multiplied by the digit 9 plus ang hundreds is 100 multiplied to 7 and then the unit is just 1, then 5. So tama po ba pag i-add natin to 975 po yung lalabas? Yes or no? Sakto ba guys? 975. Sakto po, 975 po ba guys? Everyone, are you still there? Malapit na po tayo matapos. No worries. Okay, thank you so much. So that is 975, right? So itong 975 is the number. Thousands, hundreds, hundreds pala to. Ano ba yan? Sorry. Sorry po, nagkamali po ako. May tens pa pala. Sorry po, medyo sabog. Hundreds, tens, and units. I'm very sorry for that, guys. Sorry. Nagkamali po ako. Sorry po. So this is 100 times 9, and then 10 times 7, tapos plus 5. Very sorry for that. So you have 100 times 9, and then 10 times 7, tapos 5. So that is 975. So kung magdagdag pa tayo ng isang number dyan, so yun na yung thousands. I'm very sorry for that error. So yung 975 is the number. Pero pag sinabi mong digits, ano yung mga digits natin, class? Can you give me, ano yung mga digits natin sa number na to? Digits are what? Are simply 9, 7, and 5. So, as you can see, class, thank you so much po. As you can see, the number is the whole number itself, considering the factor of each digit place. But pag sinabi mong digits, these are simply the symbols that combines to make the number itself. So, you have the individual digits that combines the number itself. So, mainly, meron ka lang 10 digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, 9 is the digit, the hundreds. The tens digit is 7 and the units digit is 5. So that's the difference between the number and the digits. So kailangan alam mo yan. So pag sasabihin sa problem original number, you need to consider the factor. So in original number, so for example, meron kang 3 digit Sorry. Kung meron tayong 3-digit number dito, so for example, 1, 2, and 3, so hundreds, tens, and thousands, the number is just 100H plus 10T plus U. When you say number is reverse naman, so 1, 2, and 3, so pag ma-reverse to siya, reverse yung focus natin dito, magkakabaliktaran lang ng mga posisyon. So itong unit, siya na ang magiging hundreds, the tens and the hundreds digit will become the unit digit. So that's why meron tayong 100U plus 10T plus H. So you need to consider ano yung mga decimal place, ano yung mga digits place, and also yung factors nila. So if you're talking about the tens digit and you're dealing with the number, you need to consider the factor of 10. If it is hundreds digit and you're dealing with the number, then you need to consider the 100 and so on. Pero pag sinabi lang sum of the digits are U, T, and H, so just simply get the sum. And then pag product, multiply each digit. So these are the following example phrases ang pwede natin ma-encounter in digit problems. Kailangan lang alam mo anong pinagkaiba talaga ng number and digits. Pag hindi mo naintindihan yung difference ng dalawa, then it would really be a big problem for us to answer different problems under this type of worded problem. Did you understand that one, guys? Nasundan po ba? Nasundan po? How about the others? Nasundan po ba? Before we proceed to the questions. Okay, thank you very much. Let's have our problem class. Let's have the first problem. The sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 11. If the digits are reversed, the resulting number is 7, more than twice the original number. What is the original number? Okay, so ang hinahanap original number, nabanggit din dito ang reversed. So, ilagay muna natin, class, para hindi tayo malito. So, the original number, 2-digit number lang daw. The sum of the digit of a 2-digit number. So, meron kang tens and unit. So, ang original number natin ay 10T plus U. And then, pag sinabi nating reverse, when you say reverse number, this would be 10U plus T. So, nagbago lang yung position nila. So, now let's make the equations. So, first equation natin dito, sabi dito sa problem is that the sum of the digits is 11. So, T plus U is equal to 11. That's the first one. If the digits are reversed, so reverse natin, 10U plus T, the resulting number is 7, more than twice the original. So, equal to 7 more than twice. So, that is 2 times the original, 10T plus U, then plus 7. Before I proceed, did you understand in making on how I came up with the second equation? Lahat po ba nakaintindi? Paano po lumabas itong second equation natin, guys? Everyone? Yes, thank you so much, guys. So, simplifying, you will have 10U plus T equal to 20T plus 2U plus 7. So, simplifying, that is, you have 19T minus 8U equal to -7. Can you give me the answers, class, for this problem? This is for your equation 1 and equation 2. Gamit pa rin po tayo ng mode 5.1 lang po ng calculator for the first and second equation. Variable ng T, ng U, at saka ng constant natin. So this is 1, 19, 1, -8, 11, and -7. Thank you so much. Ano po yung T natin? Ayan, 3, and U natin ay 8. Thank you very much, guys. The question is, what is the original number? Therefore, number is 38. Ayan. Good, good, good. Thank you so much for your participation. That's it for this problem, guys. Okay, thank you very much. Nasundan po ba yung discussion natin, guys, everyone? Nasundan naman po yung discussion natin po.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you so much, guys. Sige po, paki-screenshot po nito, please. If you want to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and done. Let's have our next problem. The tens digit of a number is 3 less than the units digit. If the number is divided by the sum of the digits, the quotient is 4 and the remainder is 3. What is the original number? Still, meron po tayong 2 digits number, T and U. Okay? 2 digits number pa rin, class. So, first, kunin muna natin, lagay muna natin dito yung original number. So, original number natin is 10T plus U. Then, let's make our equation. So, first, the tens digit of a number is 3 less than the units digit. So, the tens digit is 3 less than the units, U minus 3. So, T minus U is equal to -3. That is our first equation. Next, if the number is divided by the sum of the digits, if the number 10T plus U is divided by the sum of the digits, T plus U, the quotient is 4 and the remainder is 3. Uy, interesting. I want you to recall, class. If meron po akong isang expression, okay, for example, if I have A divided by B, we all know this results to your quotient. But if ever meron kang remainder, paano ba natin i-express yung remainder? Anong kulang dito sa equation ko? If I have A divided by B equal to quotient plus remainder, anong kulang natin dito, guys? Back to elementary. Diniscuss to elementary days. Pag magde-divide ka tapos merong remainder, anong ginagawa natin? How can we express this one? Recall, class, pag gumamit tayo ng long division. Pag nagde-divide tayo mano-mano, anong ginagawa natin sa remainder? Okay, divided by the divisor. Good. So, di ba ang ginawa natin ganito? If I have A divided by B, it always results to a quotient. But if meron siyang remainder, that is, i-add mo yung remainder tapos i-divide mo sa divisor. Yes. So, we're just going to apply that one in our, and dito class. Class, pag nalito kayo, basic lang po yan. Yan yung dinidiscuss natin sa division nung elementary pa tayo, ha? Okay? Yan lang, guys. So, answering this one, the quotient daw is 4, and the remainder is 3. So, we have 3 divided by T plus U. So, all we have to do is to multiply both sides by T plus U for simplifying this equation, class. So, cancel ta dito. Ito din cancel. We have 10T plus U equal to 4 times T plus U plus 3. And you have 10T plus U equal to 4T plus 4U plus 3. So you have now 6T minus 3U equal to 3, class. So you have your two equations, 2 unknowns. Pwede po bang pakilagay sa calculator natin, guys? And can you give me what are our values? So mode 5-1 pa rin tayo. So, variable T, U, tapos yung constant. So, for both equation 1 and equation 2. So, 1, 6, -1, -3, and then -3, 3. Ano pong value natin sa T? Okay, thank you. T is 4, and then U is 7. So, the original number is equal to 47. Thank you so much, guys. Ayan. That is now your final answer. Now, naintindihan po ba si digit problem, guys? Gets naman po si digit problem, everyone? Naintindihan naman po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Paka-screenshot po nito, guys, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's have our next type of problem. We have the mixture problem. Ayan. So, mixture problems po tayo. Now, ano pong impression niyo pag mixture problem po yung binibigay? Mahirap po ba or madali lang? Para po sa inyo. Para po sa inyo, madali lang po ba to or mahirap si mixture? Hello, guys. Okay. So sa mixture problem po, isa to sa pinakapaborito ko kasi ito yung isa sa pinakamadaling lahat ng mga worded problems. Why? Hindi po dahil sa mahirap yung question itself. Okay, pinakamadali siya, hindi dahil sa trip ko lang or very challenging siya, no. Because these are the type of problems na sobra-sobra yung given sa problem. Dahil sa sobra yung given, yung tipong sa sobrang daming given, nahihirapan yung students kung ano yung gagamitin sa problem. Okay, anong gagamitin to solve the problem? So, sa akin, madali siya sa context na ang daming given. So, sobrang daming given. So, there's no way for you to solve it very easily. So, sa mixture problem lang, dalawa lang yung tatandaan nyo dito. Una, isang equation na gagamitin nyo, which is concentration times the volume. You just need to get the concentration and the volume and multiply to the volume of every solution involved. Again, in every solution involved, you need to get the concentration, the percentage, multiply to the volume. Now, what if ma'am, hindi binigay yung concentration? Then you solve for concentration, which is the amount of solute divided by the total volume. Again, the percentage is the amount of solute divided by the total volume multiplied to the 100%. That is how you get the concentration. Now, another keyword na kailangan yung tatandaan dito is loyalty and consistency. So, kailangan loyal ka. Loyal ka sa concentration or sa solute na pinili mo or consistent ka sa solute na pinili mo. Anong ibig sabihin nun? For example, meron kang isang mixture, meron kang isang solution, and this solution has a solute of X%, a concentration of X% and a volume of volume 1. So, all you have to do, get first the concentration times the volume of that solution. Next, let us say, dinagdagan mo to ng another solution. So all you have to do is get also its concentration and multiply to its volume. And the final solution, still the same. Yung final solution, get its own concentration times its volume. Now, pagdating naman sa volume, since this is just adding class, so paghahaluin mo lang yung mga liquids or yung mga solution natin. So sum up all the volume. Volume 1 plus volume 2 plus equal to volume 3. Now, saan yung consistency dito? Yung consistency dito ay dito po papasok sa concentration na pinili nyo. If pinili mo pong ito ay H2O, then kailangan itong pangalawang solution, H2O, ito din ay H2O. So, pag pinili mo ito ay oxygen, ayan, oxygen class, then kailangan dito oxygen din, and ito, oxygen. So, kailangan lang talaga consistent ka sa concentration na pinili mo. Don't use any concentration class or don't mix different concentrations in one equation. That will really lead you to a wrong answer. Again, don't use multiple type of concentration in one equation. Use only one type of solute in all concentrations na present sa equation. Loyalty. Anong pinili mo sa first, then yun yung pipiliin mo sa lahat ng solution involved in the problem. Paki-screenshot po and let's have our last set of problems for this session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's have this. 100-liter solution is 75% alcohol and 25% gasoline. How much gasoline must be added to produce 50-50 solution? Okay? So, all you have to do is gawa muna tayo ng illustration. So, meron tayo dito ang isang solution, which is 100 liters daw. Okay? So, you have 100-liter solution. So, 100 liters. Now, this solution is composed of alcohol and gasoline. So, ang percentage ng alcohol ay 75% and then ito naman ay 25%. Now, how much gasoline must be added So, dinagdagan natin to ng gasoline, guys. So, dadagdagan na natin to ng gasoline. Remember ha, this is gasoline. And the question is, anong amount daw? Okay, what's the amount of the gasoline to be added? So this is X. So since that is pure gasoline, automatic gasoline is 100% here. And we don't know kung may alcohol. And since sinabi niya gasoline talaga, assume kayo kaagad na 0% alcohol content yan. Okay? Now, the expected result here is that dapat meron siyang 50-50 solution. So, ibig sabihin 50% alcohol, 50% gasoline. So, if this yung nasa loob na nilagay ko class ay mga volume to. Okay? Volume, ito, volume. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung total volume natin dito? I-add mo lang lahat ng volume. So, which is here, we have 100 plus X class. That is the total volume. Now, all you have to do is to make the equation na. Ang kailangan lang sa equation is concentration times the volume. Yan lang tatandaan nyo. So, you have two ways to you make your own equation. So, the first way is to make it in terms of alcohol. So, consistency class ha, loyalty, pinili ko si alcohol. So, focus ako sa mga concentration na to. Hindi ako titingin dun sa alcohol. So, first solution, concentration times volume, 75% times 100 liters. Plus, sa alcohol, second solution, 0% times X equal to 50% times 100 plus X. Ma'am, pwede decimal? Pwede. Pwede natin gawin 0.75 times 100 plus 0 times X and then equal to 0.50 times 100 plus X. Can you give me anong value ng X natin dito, guys? Okay, tuturuan ko kayo paano mag-solve ng X. Gamitin niyo po yung shift solve. Okay, can you use shift solve to solve this one? Shift, tapos pindutin niyo po yung calc na button. Ayan. So, ang gagawin nyo, ilagay nyo muna yung equation. Tingnan nyo yung gagawin ko, class, ha? So, ilagay nyo muna yung equation dun sa calculator. So, I have 0.75. Alam na po ba lahat paano mag-shift solve? 0.75 times 100. And then, equal to, kasi 0 na tong term na to. Ayan. Equal to 0.50 of 100 plus alpha x. Ayan. And then shift solve po, shift, and then calc. Magtatanong po ng x, let it 0 lang. Then press equal sign, yung sagot ng x natin. So in this equation, you have your final answer, which is 50 liters of gasoline. Okay? So dito, meron tayong sagot na x is equal to 50 liters, guys. Okay, now, let's make another equation. And this time, all concentration is in terms of gasoline. Okay, in terms of gasoline. So, yan yung equation natin. Kasi sabi ko, class, ito yung isa sa pinakamadali. Kasi sobrang daming given. Hindi mo kailangan talaga gamitin lahat. Kailangan lang, alam mo, kailan gagamitin yung bawat percentage. You don't need to use everything that is present in the problem. So in terms of gasoline, this is 25% multiplied to 100 liters and then plus. We have 100% multiplied to X, then equal to 50% multiplied to 100 plus X. So this is just 0.25 times 100 and then plus 1 times X equal to 0.50 times 100 plus X. Ulitin nyo, guys. Tingnan natin. Is the answer here is still 50 liters, everyone? Pakicheck naman po. Same lang ba? So 0.25 multiplied to 100. Okay, how about the others? Paki-confirm po. Same lang ba yung sagot natin, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. So, pakita ko lang dito, 100 plus alpha x. So, yan yung ibig sabihin ko, klase mixture. Talagang, ano lang siya, yung tipong, sobrang, ano lang, sobrang magulo, ano yun? it leads to confusions because there's a lot of numbers that you can see and a lot of given that is present in the problem. Sobrang dami talagang values. It's just that you don't know which of this na ang gagamitin mo in solving the problem. So the key point here is you don't need to solve, you don't need to use everything. You just need to pick one of the percentage or concentration na gagamitin mo all throughout of your equation, guys. Okay? Naintindihan po ba yun, guys? Naintindihan naman po yung explanation ko in solving this. Okay. Sige, let's have one last problem before we dismiss. One last problem po. Screenshot po if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have another problem. A 50 kilogram solution is 30% salt. How much water must be evaporated to make the solution 60% salt? So you have 2. I take note ha kung ano po yung mga ano natin dito, mga involved na solution. So meron tayong solution which is 50 kilograms. Okay? And then it is made up of salt, which is 30%. Pero may nabanggit dito na water to be evaporated. So, ibig sabihin, this water is from this salt class na 50 kilograms. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong H2O content. So, kung 30% yan, ibig sabihin, 70% to for a total of 100%. So, ma'am, what if meron pang ibang mga solute? Huwag ka nang mag-assume na meron pa. Kung anong stated sa problem, yun lang talaga i-consider mo. When you say evaporated class, anong operation gagawin ko? Is it addition? Yes or no? Or anong operation gagamitin natin dito? Sabi niya, how much water must be evaporated? What's the operation that I need to use for this water class na nandito? Pure water to ha, siya lang yung mag-evaporate. Evaporate. So this is 100%. Okay, this is minus. Ibig sabihin, gaano ba karaming tubig ang kailangan ibabawas natin from the salt? So how much water to be evaporated from this 50 kilograms so that, okay, water yung mag-evaporate ha, walang salt na mag-evaporate. So 0% yung salt natin sa evaporation. So this is the question. What is X? So that the result would be, ano daw yung percentage ng salt natin? Yan ay magiging 60% salt. So this is 60%. To make it 100%, the water is 40%. And for the total volume, 50 minus X lang siya. Okay? So with that, meron na tayong equation na pwedeng makuha. Depende kung anong gusto nyo. Pwede tayo in terms of salt class. Ayan, kung in terms of salt, this is 30% multiplied to 50 kilograms minus 0% multiplied to X equal to 60% multiplied to 50 minus X. Or that is 0.30 multiplied to 50 equal to 0.60 multiplied to 50 minus X. Can you give me what's the value of X class? Ano pong X natin dito? Okay. Thank you very much. So that is 25. Take note in kilograms po. Now, can you get class the same answer if in terms of H2O? Paki-check naman guys. So 0.70 times 50 minus 1 times X equal to 0.40 times 50 minus X. Does it gives you the same answer? X is equal to 25 kilograms. Similar lang po ba guys? Okay, good. So, importante, kasi yung point ko dito is consistency. So, kung hindi yan equal, di mali yung tinuturo ko sa inyo. Okay? So, madali lang si mixture problem. Huwag lang kayo problema kung ano yung equation. Kasi yung equation, just follow the pattern, which is concentration times volume lang. Yan lang talaga. Each solution. And then just please, consistency. So, kung ano yung ginamit mo na concentration, yun na yung gagamitin mo all throughout of the equation. And then, be careful of the operations involved. No worries kasi yung operation, it's either addition lang naman or subtraction. You just need to follow the problem kung ano yung binigay niya. Follow the instructions sa problem. Magdadagdag ba siya? Magbabawas ba siya? Ayan. So, yan lang class. That's it for mixture problem. Did you understand mixture problem class and how did I solve this following type of problems? Nasundan naman po.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, guys. Sige po, paki-screenshot nito, please. Okay po, paki-screenshot naman ito, guys. Ayan, so thank you very much po, no? So that's the end of our first session for this day.